It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. As always, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. Make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so, and we'll throw it up on the screen. And let me remind you, if you are one of those folks who want to leave a question or comment that is indignant or ignorant in nature, you will not get your 15 minutes of fame on this program, baby. I guarantee you that. With that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park. Look at him right there. Oh, look at the crossover. Slow-mo, baby. What's this California style, brother Rich? What's happening?
I'm always honored to be on the platform. You know, I'm interested that the fact that you always make that presentation right before you present me on the platform. So I'm wondering, I must draw a lot of hate from the Cowboy fans. You know, your entourage, your Cowboy entourage that follows the P-Road
somebody's moving around in the background. Please not do that. But to Brother Rich's point, that didn't take long. You see what I'm saying?
No,
he just had to get a button.
For the sake of the listeners, I'm talking about the listeners.
Oh, okay. Now it's the listeners. And on the other side of the pond, we got my man from up north, Joey James, aka Double J. Tell the people what you say. Oh, did you hit the free throw? Oh, didn't look like Shaq to me, baby.
That's right, and that's okay. You know, I want to say Tom Izzo did something special over the weekend, tying Bob Knight. That should be, they're also tied in Tantrum's throne.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's a record he want to be tied with.
Yeah. So in other words, and then at my bottom left, your bottom right, I can't tell my left from my right. Oh boy, do I really have to introduce this guy? But I will, because he is a part of the P-Program.
Read what you see. Just read what you
yeah,
read
right.
what you see.
Ron Burgundy.
My arch nemesis, the world's #1 antagonist, TJ, speaker for I don't know who that is that day, aka Shadow Man. Look at him over here holding up his hand. Look at the king, Burger King. Oh, look at the flizz-op. Yes.
Hey,
TJ,
I just noticed it was the Wynn Casino. I like that. Who did that? Double J, you responsible.
Man,
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Let me fix my glasses so I can hear what you really said, because that we've been doing that ever since you had the intro. My God.
Listen, and that's the first time I seen it, man.
You need to stop drinking. And then last but not least, we got my man, Jay Wilkerson, aka Doc, as in D-O-C. Yes, indeed.
What's happening? What's happening?
Doc, what's happening? Yeah.
Go green, baby. Go green.
You see this?
Go green, baby. I told you last week, Joey, I was going down, but you ain't want to listen.
You know what?
Hey, 3 points, Joey, y'all lost.
What? Wait a second. In this Hollywood Squares here, how did I end up in between the two flip-flops?
You right where you belong, playboy.
Oh wow. Whoa, you talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just now caught that. Let us now start the show. Okay. We a day late, dollar short. My apologies on the whole thing. We already know what then went down and what's been transpired since. But let's talk about the slap or the Juwan Howard situation over there at Michigan. What's interesting to me is what a particular talking head, national talking head, said in regards to, and a former Fab Five player said. All right. But before I read that, let me preface it by saying this. We on this platform and program or program, we tell it like it is. Okay. We do not have any biases. We do not condone racism or anything of that nature, but we are here to tell the truth. We don't pick sides. Okay. So the objective is not to offend anyone or be disrespectful to anybody, but what we're not going to do is act as if though what's transpired or what's transpiring or what didn't took place is non-existent. We're not going to bury our heads in the sand, as they might say. Okay. So again, if what you hear after I ask these questions or we read this first segment, topic, or whatever you want to call it, if you find it offensive, let me apologize right off the rip, okay? But these things need to be said, okay? You can't, it's 2022, all right? So everything else, everybody else got a voice, all right? Everybody else is saying what they want to say, so we're going to say what we need to say here. But again,
lift every voice and sing. Oh, my bad.
It took TJ. Okay, let's get into this. The columnist or the talk show host I mentioned, or I want to mention first, excuse me, his thoughts on the whole Juwan Howard situation is Chris Broussard. Brother Rich, you and I know Chris rather well.
Yeah.
Here's what he had to say about the Juwan Howard incident or Michigan incident. Howard should be suspended for the rest of the season, including the tournament. But I find it interesting there was no mention about the Wisconsin coach first impeding Howard's progress or touching him, putting his hands on him first. You don't put your hands on no grown man in no fashion. You understand what I'm trying to say? Unless it's your son or your uncle or somebody and y'all, hey, what's up, man? You know what I mean? But if I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't put your hands on me for no reason whatsoever. But here's the interesting part. Not too long, when Juwan first got hired, Broussard was all over. He was all in favor of it. And I'm not saying he should be fired or whatever the case may be, but to be suspended but you was all in on his team 10 minutes ago, I just found that kind of, I don't know, crass, condescending, bass awkward, or whatever else you want to call it. And then Ray Jackson, former Fab Five member, said this: a big black man putting his hands on a white man is one of the scariest things for white America. Juwan should never have been put in that position to begin with, to have to control his emotion. A coach grabbing you, pushing your players, that's ridiculous. TJ, what say you?
Hey, so do y'all, I want to just talk to the older folks on the panel. Do y'all like what happened? Or do y'all, because that's some old school stuff right there, man.
What's some old? See, there you go.
That's some. Hey, listen, that's some old
school stuff right there. I see what he did there.
I just want to know, man, how y'all feel about it.
Okay, no. For you to say, I want to talk to the older people.
You and Brother Rich. That's why. Hey, Rich, what's up, man? I ain't even say hi to you today, but how you doing, man?
I am good, young man. How are you, sir?
How you try to do y'all?
Yeah, that's why you. In other words, what you saying right off the rip? You're saying you are not
off the rip.
Why?
Why? I just want to know how y'all feel about it. That's
why. What's old school about it? Why do you want to know?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Brother Rich.
We're trying to elicit how you feel about it from your. We want to get a young school, since you want to call us.
That's
old
why
school.
I came to you first. Exactly. Yeah. Right. We want to get a
deviation.
Honestly, I feel where TJ coming from. It was rough.
How does the Sharman League feel?
Yeah, the Sharman. No, we want to get a Fisher Price.
Let them know, Doc.
You know what I'm saying?
Let them know, Doc.
I get it. Back in y'all day, y'all was rough. Y'all was playing football on the hoop course. I mean, I feel it. Like back in y'all day, wasn't no rules.
Oh, hell no.
Listen here, we want to get a Fisher Price.
Wow.
That's why we came to TJ first, but that was disrespectful, Doc. But I see right now, you and TJ, that's who the buddies are on today's show, okay? Yeah, got you.
Hey, he got the little lick right.
Anyway, TJ, what exactly do you want to know from the the elders, because that's what we are.
How do y'all feel about the incident? It's simple. how do you feel about what Juwan Howard did to that other coach, that assistant coach?
Well, first of all, if you go back and look at the whole play and it's the whole thing in its entirety, not the play, when they were first going through the handshake line or whatever the case may be, Juwan was going whatever direction he was going. He wasn't saying nothing. You know, you have to, you know, he was a little miffed about that timeout that was called, and you know, okay, I get it. But for that guy to grab him basically and stop him, as if to say, "You're gonna hear what I got to say." That, hey, I'm on. You don't, man. Listen, don't put your hands on me for no reason. You don't need to touch me.
I like it.
You like what?
I like his response.
Whose response? You saying you gotta be put a name on it. Whose response?
Listen, if a man put his hands on me, he gonna get the same response. That guy.
Oh, okay, shout out. Okay, got you. Okay, all right, okay. But at the end of the day, I don't think
you sound quite old school, then, nephew. Yeah,
thank you.
Approach.
Yeah, thank you, brother Rich. Yeah.
We thought you was gonna hug him and kiss him and ask him, invite him out to dinner afterwards, and just be buddies with him, and son and all that kind of stuff. We thought y'all was all one big family today. So
we thought
approach. Because here's what we're saying: what that coach did, according to law, you can check this out for yourself. If you impede someone's progress, and it's well documented right there in the city of Cleveland. So many of us had, when I was living there for a short time, working there for a while, we caught one of our cases that we caught in our community affairs work was actually impeding the progress of someone. And according to law, as they told us, according to law, that is called kidnapping in that moment.
Yes, it is. Yes.
My progress at any point in time, my will as a human being to move forward, you have kidnapped me. And you don't have the authority to, that's why you don't have the authority to put your hands on another person. You don't have the authority to block my path. You don't have the authority to do that. The police have the authority to do that only under good and reasonable authority and color of law. I have to have violated some law for somebody to impede my path. That's why when the police stop you, you have a right to say, am I under arrest? And if I'm not under arrest, I can walk away. I don't have to engage this person. So for someone in the heat of battle to put their hands on me, and I'm saying to you, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me, and you continue to do it. And then now your assistants are getting involved and they're aggressing my players. Now I'm being asked to respond, not only as a coach to defend myself, but to defend my team and to defend the institution that you asked me to protect the lives and the well-being of these young men. And I got to protect them from everybody, including that coach and his assistants. So I thought what he did was very, very old school. It was very, very modern. It was very, very up to date. Whatever you want to, in any era, it works. Any era.
No question. I just cannot get over the audacity. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the thing to me. You know, he a man, you a man, I'm a man. For you to even think that you could, and he didn't even think about doing it, you just did it. You understand what I'm saying? That's just disrespectful to me, you know, and we just not going to be disrespectful. We not. Doc, what say you about what Broussard said? You want me to read it again?
Yeah, read one more time.
Broussard said Howard should have been suspended for the rest of the season, including the tournament.
No, I don't think he should have been suspended for the rest of the season, including the tournament. Now, I do think he should have been suspended for the remainder of the season, because although y'all got into the scuffle y'all got into, but that doesn't mean you can put your hands on another person in the professional sports setting. Like, you have to be a bigger person than that. Like, you almost have Malice in the Palace Part 2. Like, you got to learn when to walk away. Yeah, you say what you got to say, turn around and keep it pushing. You don't have to say nothing to that guy no more after that, but you don't have to put hands on him. This ain't street basketball. This is organized college basketball. You got kids looking up to you, and you're supposed to set the example. So if they see coach swinging, we swinging too. You have to be the bigger person here and know when to walk away. You know what I mean?
Now you saying on the part of Juwan Howard?
Yeah, the part of Juwan Howard, he shouldn't have slapped him. Like, I get, my man's grabbed him up when he wasn't supposed to. Like, you know, do what you got to do to get yourself free. But after all that was going on, he was already walking away, and he came back for the slap after what the assistant coach did to one of the players. I didn't really see the entire thing, but It's kind of like you got to be a bigger person than that. It's like, I get it. You were upset. Y'all just lost. You were upset about a timeout call. You got to be a bigger person than that. You are a coach for a good Division I school, and you can't be looked at in that light. Oh, our coach is swinging on people. You can't do that.
I listen. I'm with you. I get it. The optics and all that look bad, but I respectfully disagree in this regard. One thing I have an issue with, just in everyday in WJ, we'll come to you here in a second. This whole in business, okay, this whole idea of customer service. I'm not dealing with that one-sided. In other words, the company I work for, they tell me the customer's always right. Bull crap. Because as grown-ups, if I'm on this side of the counter serving the customers, I have a responsibility, right, to maintain composure and do all that kind of stuff, right? But if you're 60-something years old and you're on the other side of that counter, and you think that because customers are always right, you're going to just say and do, man, listen, what I do, I've been worked at a station once, man, I've seen customers of a different shade. I'm telling the truth here. Excuse me, I'd lie for you before I would to you. Call me all kind of double GAs and do all of that. We're not about to, listen, I will punch out. Do you want to see me in the parking lot? Do you understand? No, listen, because you're not, I'm dead serious. You're not about to do that. There is a responsibility for both parties. Do you understand? Just because the customer is always right don't mean that the customer can do and say whatever they want to do. Now, and it was just words. But you put your hands on me, all decorum and all of that is out the window.
All right, calm down, Holyfield.
No, hey, listen, and I ain't saying I'm the toughest dude. I don't know none of that. But in other words, respect is a two-way street. You get what you give. Do you understand? That coach for Wisconsin did not go to the degree that Juwan Howard did. I'll give you that, whoever it may be. But you're not going, in that moment after, like I said, Juwan was salty about the timeout that had been called, and then they just suffered another loss and all of that. You know, it's a whole lot that go into that. So in that moment, don't put your hands on me, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm feeling some type of way. And for you to grab me and you're going to forcibly, so to speak, you're going to make me talk to you with that type. Hey, like I said, the decorum and all that stuff. If you want decorum, then you got to give decorum. You be like, look, can I talk to you? Let me holler at you for a minute? You know, give me the respect as a man. And then for the fallout to be all centered around Juwan Howard, that's bull crap too. You understand? Don't tell me what happened without telling me why what happened. Show me how many times we seen the news?
What led up to it?
Yeah, well, or a guy goes and he beats somebody up or whatever. Okay, I'm not condoning that. That's bad. Okay, I'm with you on that. But I want to know what got that dude to that point. You see what I'm saying? The news and the media, they pick up what happened and then run with it as if though
that's the whole story.
They always catch the one that retaliates. They'll never catch the one that started.
That's the whole story. I'm not. No, listen. No. We're gonna uncover all of the evidence. Okay, we're not about to be selective. I just can't. I ain't down with that. Double J, your thoughts, man?
Well, this is something that is not really a new issue. You could go back to 2013 and 14, specifically. March 6th was the date of the USA Today article questioning is college basketball coaching behavior in decline. So we're spanning 8 years, none of which were minority coaches that actually came into question during that particular during that article's line of questioning. So this is not new. And statistically, with roughly 5,500 games, maybe give or take now a little bit more, the amount of technical fouls that are being called are still rather consistent with where they've been historically. Now, one of the things that even that article points out is that it's that time of the year. And why I'm highlighting that particular segment from an article that's 8 years old is because of where we are when all of this occurred and what happened after. So not just this game. I'm going to actually deflect from the game itself. I don't think Juwan deserves it to be talked about much further on his end, because what shortly followed in the same conference is Brad Underwood from Illinois being tossed and in a very chaotic segment. You've seen not Bobby Hurley, but Dan Hurley get ejected for pumping up the crowd with UConn simply a few days later.
Yeah.
So this is not, and arguably, there's been some other circumstances with some of the other coaches, even within, the Big Ten itself, that have deserved to, get tossed. So one of the things that we've seen, no different than the results in this past weekend, is that the level of play, everything is up. It's risen. Because again, this is where, no different than any of us realizing that the end of something that is near. And so, you now realize the writing is on the wall. It is put up or shut up time. And so that anxiety certainly goes to the coaches as well. But you can't, unfortunately, in the past, Juwan Howard's now building up, or I think he was completely within his reason. I would have preferred, naturally, that he didn't open hand hit anyone. But as you've all highlighted, that he didn't need to, he was grabbed. Now, he was saying some things. I've watched the tape, in real time where, he said some things first saying, I'm going to bleeping remember that.
Hold on, Double J. Let me give a shout out to Mr. Corey L. Wilkinson.
All right,
it's all good. It's all good. Mr. CL Wilk. Yeah, it's all good. Shout out. Go ahead, Double J.
Absolutely. And again, let's remember, who is it? John Chaney still holds the all-time record of ejections, right? So he was very demonstrative on the sidelines. Absolutely. So the problem is they're trying to take what the gentleman from the Fab Five, what Mr. Jackson said in the context, in respect to Juwan, is what's creating a bigger, scarier character.
Just happy to be here. It's all good.
And that's, again, stemming from now some consistencies in his behavior, right? We go back to last year and he said, well, I'm a kid from the South Side of Chicago, and that's how we used to handle things. Now, and it was given a pass. What you're seeing now is you had the dust up with, at the time, not Roy Williams, but the coach from Maryland who resigned earlier this year. And at one point, that coach had said that Howard said he was going to bleeping kill him. So the unfortunate side is his actions in the past are allowing those to get the momentum that they're looking for, when ignoring the fact that he may have been in the right under these circumstances. Think about it as in high school. If you got in a fight before, right or wrong, when you get into a second one, you're kind of guilty until proven innocent at that point.
Absolutely.
But here's the problem with what you're saying, Double J. All of that is narrative. It's how it's painted. The problem is not, there's a problem there. There's no question that we are coached, like Doc pointed out, like you've pointed out, like others have pointed out. He should be held to a higher standard. He's dealing with young men. Yes, all of that is absolutely true. Here's the problem with all of that in and of itself. That should be, as justice is supposed to be blind, that's supposed to be blind application. Because here's the way that's done if it's somebody that the media likes. When it's Bobby Knight or it's this one or it's that one, it's a passionate coach. When it's Belichick being disrespectful of the media or this, that, the other, he's a passionate. He's serious about what he does. When it's Brady not shaking hands and doing unsportsmanlike things. When it's the quarterback Aaron Rodgers being unsportsmanlike, it's painted in a different light. So we could actually, if we were a favorable media, we could paint his passion. We could paint him we could write that very same sentence and take it as he's just a passionate coach from the South Side of Chicago, and that's how they handle business. It's a rough and tumble, cold, gritty city, and they got to go hard. We could paint it like that, but it's painted with a hint of racism. That he's just
I was about to say, brother,
that's the problem here. That the racism, when the American majorly white press and media and their henpecked house Negroes like Chris Broussard and others get these stories, they're forced to behave and represent them in such a way where the athlete or the individual is made to seem like he's irredeemable and he should just be thrown away. So when you start talking about he should be fired, he should be this, all of these harsh, immediate power structure moves to discipline him like he's Kunta Kinte and he should have his leg cut off is what we're talking about here. This becomes
Brother Rich, let me throw it. You mentioned sportsmanship. We've all heard that growing up playing sports, from the park to the parquet and all points in between. And you mentioned Tom Brady. Aside from what you think of him as a football player, there have been moments where he slammed the clipboard or threw the thing down or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Or let's look at Aaron Rodgers. He lied. He fooled, you know what I mean? Mr. Wilkinson weighing in. We shouldn't put too much pressure on things that don't matter. Bobby Knight used to slap it up.
Absolutely.
Nope. I was playing with you. Nobody said a word. I appreciate the comment, Mr. Wilkinson, but we try not to do profanity here. But it's all good. One more. Oh, my bad. One more time. He says, "Preach, brother. You're saying it right. Out success is whispered, and out failures are screamed." Okay, got you. So, yeah. So, in other words, let's look at it. Choice of words when we want to get up. It's all good. It's all good. I see your comment there, Mr. Wilkinson. It's all good. Shout out. We use certain words, like Brother Richard's point, to paint a picture. Do you understand? We give a pass in certain instances versus other instances. When Terrell Owens, OBJ kicked the field goal net or whatever the case may be, he doesn't get this. And listen, this is honesty. Brutal.
Well, we know that.
But brutal as it may be, in other words, let us call it for what it is. It cannot be one thing for one guy. In other words, if I like you and you do something wrong, I can't say you right when you did something wrong because we cool. No. But if I don't like you, you do something. Then I'm all. Yeah,
that's how it's always been.
Exactly.
Yeah, but hang on a second. And look, I completely agree. Generally speaking, every one of those points is correct in terms of general narratives that are taken. But at one point in time, not too long ago, we know I'm what, Jay, we're what, Doc, we're 5 minutes from Ann Arbor.
Yeah,
so
right down the street.
We understand that the culture of that town, if you will, and in knowing that they gave this guy a pass with that same example that I provided a year ago. Now, that's why I'm saying he's adding fuel to the fire here, where it allows someone to maybe show their true colors, like Nolan Finley from the Detroit News, suggesting that he should be fired altogether, that he should never coach a game for U of M ever again.
But see, hold on. If Tom Izzo did that, they wouldn't be saying that about Tom Izzo.
Exactly. And listen,
that's the problem.
Now, wait a minute. They did. They were calling for his head. Watch what happened at halftime of last year's NCAA tournament in Mackey Arena when him and I want to say it was either Marble or Bingham, somebody, they had a clash, which is a two-way street. It was not just him yelling at the player. The player was allowed to ultimately have, say things back to him and have a passionate conversation against UCLA. They would go on to lose that game, but the pulse and feel changed drastically coming out of halftime because someone had to have said something to him that it was a bad look. It gave them Bobby Knight vibes. There were Twitter was going crazy. So it is reaching a point now where these coaches are under an intense microscope more than they have been historically with what's allowable. And
listen, I'm with you. I don't mean to cut you. I'm with you on that in general. I get it. It's got to be some policing done all over the place. But here's the deal. Have we seen players or coaches of a different shade when they've done things demonstratively or aggressively or whatever the case may be, did it, like, for instance, let's use Bobby Knight again.
I'm going to use Izzo, and there's a reason. As of 2019, we know, right? I just brought it up 2 seconds ago, gave an example of 2021. Did you know, at least through 2019, 800 plus games or whatever, never an ejection, not once.
Yeah, but here's the okay.
That's come on, man.
I
watched him for 48 minutes, the other day, and it was I wanted to throw him out.
Okay, but in the case, okay, all right. So let me go back to Bobby Knight right quick. He slung chairs, choke players, the whole nine. Did it tarnish his image?
Of course it did. He wasn't allowed back to Indiana until 2018.
No. I'm not talking about Indiana. I'm talking about from a wider scale. People still speak glowingly about Bobby Knight. If
right. They do.
Listen,
right.
they speak glowingly about Bobby Knight.
I don't even watch college basketball, but they definitely be speaking.
Right. They do not listen. You look, man.
Luke Conosucker, when he coached St. John's, used to be a lunatic on the sideline. He would go off and curse, go off on the referee. He's revered in St. John's. He's revered in the Big East.
Yes. And then let's talk about Nolan Richardson back in the day with the Razorbacks.
Luke Conosucker to when John Thompson would do the same stuff. They called him a big black bear. And
thank you. That I was going there next.
Yep.
I was going there next.
Let's just look. Listen, if we were talking about any fairness and justice in society, why aren't we talking about the white coach? I don't even know his name. What happened to him? Did anybody reprimand him for putting his hands and for facilitating such a confrontation? Am I hearing anything about him on Sports Center? Is he on any?
And personally, I'm disgusted by
him and where what he's done in the past.
But Double J, and you're right. You should be personal, and as we all are here. But in other words, please, and I'm not saying this to any of you all. I'm just saying in general, figuratively speaking. Please let us not act as if though in all corners of society, whether it's sports, everyday life, whatever it is, there is a disparity.
It's America.
That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, let me slide over to the left for a minute. I've seen court cases where one guy would do a crime of a shade, and then another guy of a different shade would do the same crime, and the sentencing is totally up. What do you mean? Everything is the same from top to bottom.
Every day in America.
Everything. And you're telling me you're going to give this one guy for the same thing. When I say the same things, I'm talking about from 1 through 10. It's the same. Right. You give this one guy 20 years and you get the other guy 6 months. Come on, man.
Let's be honest.
Come on.
It's like that across the board, whether it be court, sports, it's always going to be like that.
Correct.
But you don't have to apologize for that. That's a fact. These are facts.
Yeah, shout out to Mr.
America will never be a better country if we are not honest about these kinds of facts.
The darker brother is always the one that's in trouble. It don't matter what it is. Yes. The darker one always gets the biggest punishment.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let me get this comment in right here. Up, Mr. Granger. I'm sorry, I can't see with my glasses or without them. You know what I'm saying? Woo, yeah.
And that man has a license, ladies and gentlemen.
My boy Doc repping the Mamba, R.A.P. legend. Absolutely. Yeah, baby. Yeah. In other words, oh man, I got something for us next week, man. It was some folks going back and forth about, speaking of the Mamba, about whether or not if he top 3, it was dude put a post up, man. You should have seen.
Bro, he top 5. I'm tired of these people leaving him out of top 5, dog.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, brother Rick. What you say, brother Rick?
We're not gonna talk no Kobe disrespect on this platform.
Yeah, what's already understood need not to be explained.
We ride with Kobe. No matter what other people say, they can speak for whoever they want. They can speak for crabs. They can speak for queens and princesses.
Hey, coming at you, dog.
You say crabs?
They can speak for council, or they can speak for city council. I don't give a skip who they speak for. But,
hey. Well, I'm glad you didn't use the profane. My
Mamba, you got Mamba respect up in here, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, no question. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, fellas, whatever this is that most people are trying to say that it's not, it is, and it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere.
And this is why, I wanted to bring up Greg Gard. I want his name brought up in this program. I want his staff, because I listened all week to anyone affiliated to Wisconsin, and all of them were very consistent. First and foremost, their athletic director's stance on it was frustrating. Secondly,
I wonder why.
When the fines
we
know, but here's
exactly.
my point here. When the fines were released for anybody that was Wisconsin affiliated, it came down to the fact that same athletic director said it's a Wisconsin fine, which again paints really drives home, it bolds and underlines the culture, right? That they felt everything that he did was okay, all of them.
What?
So taking that a step further, even the beat reporter for Wisconsin made it very clear that Greg wanted to, when he heard Juwan say that he was going to bleeping remember this, that's why he wanted to address it right then and there.
Okay,
but ignoring that maybe that wasn't the right time for Juwan to address it. Okay. They take personal accountability out of this, and it drives me nuts. He wanted to talk about it now, so let's talk about it now. No, that ain't the time or the place to talk about it.
And they were already heated with all that going on, so it resulted in what it resulted in because it was the wrong place, wrong time for that conversation.
Look, I'm not a Michigan fan. You guys know that.
I know.
I am not a Wisconsin fan either.
But here's the problem I have.
Their behavior, even off the court or exiting with Johnny Davis's, throwing the L's up in East Lansing and the see you laters, all those antics and type of stuff. We should be getting rooted for by the rest of the conference.
But here's the problem I have with
Tuesday.
that. The Wisconsin people didn't see nothing wrong. So that in and of itself speaks to a whole larger issue. So in other words, oh man, you don't even feel like you know what I'm saying? You right no matter what.
Correct.
So you are absolved, or excuse me, accountability. That ain't even in your repertoire. That is not even your universe. That is stratosphere. No, none of that. Sorry, TJ. But I mean, at the end of the day, so in other words, you don't even see yourself as being somebody who should be checked because you don't do nothing wrong. Are you holier or mightier or higher than thou?
Hey, and as many hacks like Brad Davison's made a career out of cheap shots, like worse than Grayson
Allen.
And yet
Grayson Allen, man, dog, come on now.
Unbelievable. But
yet, again, this is what I mean. A team that could do no wrong, that's their culture, and it's on full display. And
did you hear what you said? Did you hear what you said? Culture. Meaning,
exactly. I'm not denying it.
Yeah, it happens across the board. He's right. Yeah, meaning culture.
Yeah, if you look up the term culture, we talking about something that's been happening. Something going on a long time ago. Right. Culture is something that's been established for some time. Okay, now this ain't right quick. You said culture, meaning this has been cultivated and passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down.
It's been going on since the Bill Russell days, and it's still going on now.
Read the statement from the athletic director. Again, go look at the excerpts from the folks that I'm referring to within, the Wisconsin beat writing side of things.
Yeah.
And you will see that every point that was made here was further reemphasized that Juwan is fully to blame here, and that assistant coach had nothing to do with it.
Oh, of course.
Same with the player that came in there and started trading blows.
Of course. You gotta stop
with Musa Diabate.
Because that would have never happened.
That sounds like
that would never happen if he had not grabbed up Juwan Howard. Like, had he let Juwan Howard just keep moving instead of, hold up, you gonna talk to me, boy.
It's what's dangerous about that narrative that you're talking about, Doc. That narrative is why we just celebrated the 10-year anniversary of us losing a 17-year-old child because a white Hispanic man tried to impede his progress, and he did not respond to him in a certain way, and he chased him and murdered him, and America said it was justifiable because that little young black child is supposed to stop and answer to any white man that stops him.
And that's what they do.
He has the right to murder him. That's what happened to Trayvon Martin.
Yes,
TJ, TJ, give us the last thought on this subject before we move on. You got one? No.
He's still thinking about whether he representing the Kings or the Crabs or the Queens or the Bronx or New York.
Yeah. You said you can't. Well, you said you can't hear me.
He's speaking for the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
You can't hear me, TJ?
Oh no, go ahead. My internet.
I said, give us. You got a glitch? Yeah, that's technology. Give us the last thought on that. So
go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm saying, give us the last thought? What is your take on all of on all of this?
Hey, I told you already. He got what was coming to him. Like I would have responded the same way.
Okay, so once again, what's already understood when it's coming from you, what's already understood need not even be explained. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will discuss Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Don't y'all touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Okay, Cunningham, you watching the Shop Report?
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop J, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
All right, we back. Moving things right along. In our no sports intended portion of the show, Russia invades Ukraine. I'm gonna go around the room one time and I'm gonna ask TJ.
Oh, start with me again. Okay, let's go.
No. I'm saying TJ. No, I was not getting ready to start with you. I was calling your name out to see if you was still with us or whatnot. Are you over there playing Scrabble?
Yeah. It's going in and out, but yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. We're gonna start with Double J. Russia invades Ukraine. Why? Briefly tell us why.
Well, look, this has been building for well over a year. Putin is set on getting the former Soviet Union back together. So trying to get the old band back again. There are a lot of conflicting reports depending on who you are or where you are.
So Putin trying to be Debo.
I keep hearing they want that land and all the resources the Ukraine city.
Well, correct. You got to remember there's a lot of nuclear related. Yeah.
But guess what? Isn't that always the case? But anyway, go ahead.
Well, that was kind of my point here, and that's why I prefer to take the stance of just here's what's at stake for both sides, and both sides being the Western world, NATO, Ukraine, and then Russia, and so. Rather than saying I'm in support of one versus the other, naturally, I don't want to see genocide in any capacity. But because, again, there are some alternative thinkers that do believe that the central banks aren't in certain countries and that it, along with resources, certainly can motivate the cause of these wars because wars are profitable. And
bro, gas gonna hit $4 because of this war. Like
$4? You mean $7? It might go up $4.
Well, East Coast maybe it's gonna be
but
7, 8, 9.
This is why, even to your point, though, why it may hit 4 instead of going up to 7, is not due to our oil reserves being actually tapped into or any changes in our own policies on energy. But instead, we're still going to be purchasing our oil from Russia directly in natural gas, of course. So all these sanctions, if you will, are really.
Listen, man, this is the part I don't like about governments, and with an S on the end. A wise man once said to me, ain't nothing wrong with government, it's bad government. And I say that because these folks at the top, whoever controlling all of the Bitcoin, the stock market, some folks that's doing that right now, the controller, it seems like they come up with stuff like when they want to move some money around or try to get some money over, like, we low on yacht fuel funds. Okay, what we need to do? Hey, call my man P over there on the Rush side and tell him, go get at Ukraine. And then in other words, they create the problem to then talk about, well, we got a solution. Man, this is all by design, man. Now all of a sudden, gas prices going to be $35,000, and a price of a loaf of bread. You're gonna have to go.
You know why, right?
Yeah, of course, that's what all this stuff is directly tied to all this. Man, they playing games with folks, man.
Biden trying to make up a way to send that $6.4 billion over to the Ukraine in aid. Like, where are they gonna get that from? Where they gonna get that from? Because they ain't finna take it from the Congress and the rest of the millionaires. They gonna ask them all.
Exactly.
They gonna raise our gas. They gonna raise our taxes. We already got inflation from COVID and all that going on. It's gonna be $10 for a loaf of bread messing around with this war. Watch.
Yeah.
Well, and just keep in mind too, those that believe in
Mr. Richard Ganger, if I'm saying that correctly, shout out to him again. He said, "I stand with Ukraine, pray for Ukraine." Absolutely. And you know, and not to mention Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, they on the front lines.
Well, not only them, even the former Miss Ukraine. Actually, she was armed with. I seen a picture of her with armed at the ready with a warning that she shoots to kill. That's the humanizing element in all of this. That you know, of course, you know, we would never. None of us would ever hope for that, but under the same circumstances, if we found ourselves in there, it goes to show when you see all those kids in subway stations and bunkers that you yourself would be right in those same circumstances, are armed just like they are. So again, wherever you stand, you know, again, this is where things like the Second Amendment actually benefit you in that respect.
400.
But you know what though? I'll say this: governments
have fled the Ukraine.
Yeah, but governments make rules and laws and legislation, but they don't follow none of them. But they expect you, the underling, to do so. TJ, what's your thoughts, man, on Russia's invasion of Ukraine? Look at this dude. This guy here. Hello.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, we'll come back to the speaker for the king, but he's doing just like the king would do. You know what I'm saying? Leaving it for somebody else. You know Brother Rich, give me your thoughts, man, on this whole deal.
You know, my teacher told me that, and has told us that this is the beginning of a war that will end all wars.
Oh, y'all hear me now?
Out of something very, very dangerous that's going to draw has the potential to draw the entire world in. And so there's an old saying that if you lay down with dogs,
you wake up with fleas.
You get up with fleas.
Oh, yeah, so absolutely.
They're dogs of war.
Absolutely.
They're dogs of war on both sides of this, that we would be better to stay out of it completely. Because there are neo-Nazis on one side, and there are other supremacists and other nationalists and other causes that really don't benefit us, and we don't have anything really to do with it. But we all will be impacted by it. But the idea and the understanding is really we ought to be staying out of this. Because here's the thing. I don't know what you see in your city. I don't know what you see in Michigan. I don't know what's in Ohio. I don't know what's in Dallas. But I can tell you what's in LA.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That in California, in Los Angeles County, and on every given night, there are over 50,000 homeless Americans on the streets in Los Angeles County. Many of them, tens of thousands of them, are veterans. So don't tell me that America care about 400,000 people in Ukraine leaving their home because of a regional conflict and will not feed, clothe, and shelter Americans and veterans on the street here. So I'm concerned about what's going on locally first. My politics and my concerns are what's happening in the neighborhood. And if America shows me she cares about the poor and the destitute and the homelessness and the destruction of Detroit and Cleveland and Huff and the rebuilding of East Cleveland, and show me what's going on in those neighborhoods. If she fixed the pipes in Flint, when she does that, then I'll believe that she really cares about human rights and civil rights in Ukraine. I don't trust any of it. I don't trust what CNN is telling me. America has lost her credibility on the world stage because she has lied into the people into war after conflict and spent money, and all kind of money has been taken from the national treasure to be sent to the military-industrial complex and people abroad. So if I were you or any of your relatives, I would stay out of this war, according to what we do.
I'm about to say, give him a round of applause. That's all
absolutely. Because guess what? What he's saying is, in layman's terms, I don't got no business coming over to his house trying to help him clean up or tell him how to clean up, and my house look like it.
But listen, so we shook hands with them a few years back, and they got rid of their nuclear weapons, and in turn, we're supposed to help them out.
Didn't. They didn't get rid of them. They just agreed not to use more tests anymore. They agreed not to do any more nuclear tests, and they agreed not to continue on.
It means nothing, Doc. It means nothing, Speaker. Here's why.
Yeah.
America shook hands with Libya and promised Libya they weren't going to do anything to Libya, and they went in.
I didn't believe. I believed them. I'm saying that was supposedly the deal we had.
Right. That was supposed.
That's all I'm saying. I never said, "Oh yeah, they got rid of them," but that's what the deal was supposed to be.
But that's the problem. America don't stick to none of her deals.
Putin is already threatened. He said, "If y'all jump in, I'm sending nukes." He's already threatened the nukes. He's already said, "I'm ready."
Yeah, he already raised his thing to nuclear. He told his nuclear people.
Yeah, he told them, like, "Look, we shoot nukes if y'all jump in."
And Europe is right over there, so go ahead if y'all want to. Go ahead if y'all want to.
All I'm saying is we don't have $6.4 billion to send over there when we got $6.4 billion worth of problems right here at home.
Absolutely. And you know what?
I said some potholes.
Hey, hold on.
$6.5 million.
Right, them crushed Oreos and them potholes and work.
Hold that thought. Hold your thought, TJ, because you know my mind be slipping. You know, like the transmission on the '68 Buick that's been sitting in the garage too long. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get this out. To Brother Richard's point about human rights, human rights right here in this country. Let's bag up a few clicks. When the discussion amongst congressional members was about giving the American people the stimuluses and all of that, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say. Exactly what I was about to say. I said they got money to give people at any given time. So we got the money, Doc. We got $6 billion to get for any cause. For them 50,000 veterans in California.
Billion, my G.
Yeah.
Billion.
But we got that for them Californians too, down there.
Yeah, but
homeless.
Right.
But what I appreciate that, TJ, because that's the road I was going down. But just to add a little bit more to it, my thing is the part that bothered me, and this is why I'm an independent from a political standpoint. And I say, like attorneys, they all in bed together. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, up at that level, they all in bed together because they took forever and a day. People were losing their homes. Folks was out of work, the whole nine. Now, you know, we talk again, human rights now. That's the theme here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they was going back and forth. Nancy Pelosi was steadfast and Trump was like, no. And, you know, all that was going on. But guess what? When it came time for them to get paid, oh, they agreed with that. They agreed to that with the quickness.
Immediately.
You understand? Immediately.
They care more about their pocketbooks than the well-being of the actual country.
Thank you.
As long as I can stay rich, we can have 1 million and 2 million homeless people on the street because they ain't affecting my money. But when it comes time to me giving them something where I got to out of my pocket to help you,
we gotta have
a
conversation. Yeah, thank you. We gotta have a debate. Or we got to have a discussion about it. Or we got to come back, at the last hour, Congress is getting ready to go on vacation, so we're going to try to get this deal done for the people and all of that. Why we ain't got that kind of time? Why I got to take that long? It didn't, man, when I saw the article that it came up for vote, whether Congress should get paid, and it didn't take 10 minutes before the vote everybody was yay. Human right. Miss me with your rhetoric, because anything and everything that comes from them and any other government about human rights or whatever it is, that's all it is to me, is flowery rhetoric. That's all it is. I ain't buying it. That's exactly, again, why I'm an independent, because a politician, the ones that I'm familiar with, they can tell you to go to Hayo, Hayo, in such a manner that you actually look forward to the trip. I ain't buying it. I know people who voted Democrat just because folks before them voted Democrat, and folks before them voted Democrat. I want to know what do you see? You understand?
They just doing what they told, like puppets. They following suit. Your parents told you to vote this way, you gonna vote that way.
Exactly.
It don't matter. It's just like politics. They all in bed together. Even the Russians, even the people who are at war right now, they was in bed together at one point.
Look, bro, if it's not profitable.
Listen, something went wrong, and that's why they broke up.
Exactly.
Trump went wrong. That's what happened.
Wait a minute. You have to remember too that there's global groups at play that are all striving for the same things.
I'm glad you said that. What about NATO? Do you see the stance that NATO took basically? Like my name, Wes, I ain't in that mess. My fault. Go ahead, Double J. Finish.
Well, they did, and then they quickly changed it.
Okay.
To the point where Germany said they're going to arm them directly.
Okay, good.
There's enough.
You mean arm Ukraine?
Yeah. So,
okay, go ahead.
The fact of the matter is that is traditionally how it starts. But you try to look deeper into those types of things. Who had outside of some kind of freedom, right? Which we both know, even here, freedom isn't free. So,
it sounds good though.
It sounds good till you got to pay that price tag.
What really is at stake? No different than what we've seen in other countries in years past. This was always going to be inevitable until the central banks were in control. Places like North Korea, Saddam wanted his own currency in Iraq. You saw what happened in Libya. It is what it is. Now, again, like I said, I'm not speaking for or against any particular side. I'm just saying, no matter what it is, just do your homework, not just being force-fed what you're told to believe.
Listen, call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. All right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it. It might be population control. Cause listen.
Well, I've heard that too.
Listen, COVID did.
Listen,
right.
I feel like COVID was a part of that, and it ain't go hard enough, and now they trying to start a war. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But go ahead.
I feel like they're starting a war because war is very profitable for those who are higher up in that political standpoint. Like,
and if you can unify,
look at George Bush and all of them.
That's what
war is profitable. If I can't make a profit off of it, I ain't gonna do it. But when it comes to war, they all in for war because guess what? That just means my pocket's gonna be lined up with taxpayers' money.
Not only that, when the war over with, they shaking hands for deals behind the scene. Hey, we help you out with this.
Exactly.
We help you out with this.
It's smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. It's like, look what I got going on over here, but I got some over here going on under the table that you can't see.
Thank you. And you know how the sad part, the really sad part about it, how many people here in America buy hook, line, and sinker, or they're being sold on what they being told. Hey, I've been done with the lies. All my life, it seems to be a recurring theme. This happens, now we got to go to war. That happens, now I'm like, man, why is it? It's the same story for 50 years?
Because that's money. That's money.
Barbershop, I only want to correct one thing about what you're saying. It's not now we got to go to war. Now you got to go to war. Children, young people.
We gonna profit off your death. You go to war and fight for me.
Stay in the back, in the corporate offices, making the contracts, making the deals to fix up Iraq and the places they bombed back to smithereens. Then they get a contract to go and do all the building again. And so Mr. Cheney and Mr. this one, and they all get, it's ridiculous. This is what we're dealing with.
Y'all just collateral damage, casualties. That's it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, don't get it twisted for 1 minute.
Well, hang on a second. This is why, remember, you have a social security card if you're born in the United States, right? So you are property of. That's why you're represented by a number. You yourself are a business and property of that business. So,
and you're expendable too.
Absolutely. But that's why, unfortunately, this is going to hurt people's feelings. If you were to take matters in your own hands on choosing to continue living, that's actually a crime. And it's so, though many do not realize that.
Yeah.
Hold on, what?
I'll talk to you more about it offline.
Okay, got you. Mr. Ganger weighing in again. Not sure if anyone is aware, but he is reading nuclear weapons.
Yeah, he's readying nuclear weapons.
Readying. I'm sorry, excuse me. and says Trump is out here praising Putin. Trump was off for us. That's my opinion. Hey, that's what we're here for, man. We don't shy away.
So what he praised was that he was intelligent. The way that he's going about how he's attacking what he's doing.
Oh, he said Trump. Whoa. Trump praised Putin for being intelligent.
That correct.
Yeah, he did. Putin was Trump's boy.
Okay, but listen. But Putin is not. If you really look at Putin and some of the stuff that he said, he's not that he's intelligent. Listen,
that's from your point of view, not one of the richest, wealthiest people in the world point of view.
I know that, but it's a power thing. For governments like Russia and America, it's always a power thing.
That's why he's calling him
more muscle than you.
So that's why Trump is saying he's intelligent, because Trump want to run the USA like that. That's how he want to run us.
But you gotta understand, we ain't Russia. We don't. Stuff ain't ran like that. Like Putin been in power for how long now?
Too long.
Exactly. We after 4 years, if you don't get back again, that's it. You out.
And it was word said that if he didn't start this war, he wasn't gonna be president over there for too much longer.
That's come on, man. But you know the beauty.
That was. I'm gonna send you guys in the chat an article about an opposing view that is suggesting that there was, we'll say, a puppet master that would be getting rid of, and that's who. Doc, I just sent you a link to that. Just it'll get you familiarized.
Double J, did you hear it? Do you know who the Trilateral Commission is?
Absolutely, and I know who they were.
Good point, TJ.
All right. I'm just saying, I don't want to talk about that on air because I see.
Okay, right.
Well, just if you guys start seeing the numbers, 1 and 5 and 2 and 2s, there was $2.2 million worth of damage, or 1.5.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of moving pieces.
Mr. Ganger is weighing in again. I think Putin has been in charge like 13 years or something like that. Yeah, I know it's something.
Russia for 20 years.
Oh, okay, 20 years. Well, I knew it was something crazy like that. Hey, look, man. This old hat, this old guard, man, it go back farther than any of us was born, before any of us was born. Right. And before anybody else before them was born, and before anybody else before them was born. But just miss me with the lies, man. I talk to people every day, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. I'm not knocking that, okay? But my whole thing is, if what's coming out your mouth, if it don't make sense, I'm going to raise my hand because I'm going to have something to say. And a lot of folks is, this guy is this guy and that guy. I say, man, where you getting that from? You know what I mean? You don't have your own thought, but that's the whole media's, we talk about narratives and so on and so forth. Man, they got you, the dumb down is in full effect. It is, and it's been that way for years. If you don't look up stuff for yourself, man, because
people don't think to research. They just use Facebook and other people as their means for information. Like they don't care to check. They ain't gonna care to check.
Of course, like I said, that's why I'm independent.
Hey, listen, not all information is true information, but it's all valuable in some way. So
that's true, but you still, as the person, have to decide, okay, am I going to just accept what's in front of me, or am I going to dig deeper? A lot of people don't want to dig deeper. They just want to see what's in front of them.
It's worth going down the rabbit hole.
And that's all I'm saying.
Not a lot of people think that way, though. That's why we're different. We think that way. We'll go actually research and go down that rabbit hole. A lot of people, they'll get at the interest.
Read what I sent to you guys, and it'll make a whole lot more sense.
Barbershop got to send me that because I ain't in your group chat or whatever.
Yeah, I'll send you the stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, well, I'll send it to you, TJ. I'm about to send it to you here in a minute. Yeah, fellas, that was good stuff on that one round. Let's get to the next round before we can get on down up out of here. The XFL and the NFL has put together a partnership. All right. I'd just like to know. Go around the room.
Of course.
You can't even say NFL without just your cowboy. Look
at that.
Just light up.
Oh, hell. You know that emoji with the stars and eyes?
I didn't know that.
Look at that.
Man, the Dallas Cowboy. I get to talk about my Cowboy.
I'm glad the people out there watching. Cowboys. I'm glad we recording this. I didn't say. I said the NFL and the XFL partnership, and then all of a sudden, I go to about the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I see they living rent free in somebody's mind. Yeah. Anyway, well, the NFL and the XFL have, they put together. I say, well, partners. I mean, is that an unlikely partnership? I'm gonna go around the room one good time. TJ, we'll come back to you. Because you left us with a nice little thought right there. You did. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you was all into that last one. What say you about the NFL and the XFL and this partnership? You like it? You think it's a good idea? Bad idea? Shouldn't be an idea? What?
Okay. More importantly, what I'm saying.
Boy.
The coach just put a proposal in for the overtime rules to be changed. Okay, so they're gonna give both teams possession. I don't care about no XFL, so don't ask me nothing else about that. What you think about that?
Oh, hell no!
Man, don't come on here talking like
that. That was my answer.
Right,
man.
get him out of here.
Okay,
get him out of here.
Yeah, that was your answer. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. In other words. But it was a great answer. Brother Rich.
I think this is a wonderful partnership.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Here's why. The NFL has long needed a minor league. And here
that was one of the questions I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yes. And so you also have an opportunity for other players to get real jobs where they're really going to be working on their skills, really implementing different things. So I think this is a great thing. And I'm not an NFL fan. I don't like the brand and what they represent, the whole Good Old Boy Network with you all and Dallas and the Jerry Jones and all y'all.
I knew that was coming.
From a business perspective, this makes all the sense in the world to me. They should have done this a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah. How did I know that was coming? You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna do a little something. I'm gonna count up all the times Double J and Brother Rich mentioned the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Doing this taping of the show, because there's got to be at least 1,000. Yeah, Doc, give me your thoughts, man. What do you think? The NFL, XFL, you think that's a good partnership?
Of course, I love football, so I'm all for it. So as long as if I can get more than the NFL, cool. And I think it's like the NBA and their G League. So this could be like the NFL's G League. I like it. You're giving players the opportunity to actually make it when they didn't make it to the league, if you get what I'm saying. Like, once the NFL is over, we get to watch these Knicks guys that could be up and coming to get to the NFL or couldn't just quite make the cut. But it's like we still get football. I'm happy about it. We still get football. Yeah. I'm all for it.
And with baseball, apparently the lockout continues, games canceled and all that kind of stuff.
Still?
Well, tomorrow, Monday is the deadline for whatever it is that's supposed to take place. And right now, the two sides are about as far apart as the North Pole and South Pole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I guess the XFL is right on time. And I thought that too, sort of like a farm system for baseball. The NFL, this would be a farm system. Double J, what are your thoughts? You think it's a good partnership or what?
Well, this is a league. It's an interesting partnership. I think the NFL is finally acknowledging that that it's susceptible to actual competition. Remember, this is the only league, or one of the few rather, that doesn't get rivaled with anything else globally, right? In the past, all you had was NFL Europe. Overseas, they're playing rugby. So you don't see, there's not a true head-to-head competitor. And so now with the rise of the USFL, XFL, some of these others that are just merely realizing that, hey, we can capitalize on the shortcomings and misfortunes and just the changing of times that we've seen from sports like baseball. And I think a lot of other sports have taken, account for that and saying, hey, these months can be fairly profitable for us. And then, of course, even going back to pre-pandemic XFL, it was showing that was going to be there to stay before the pandemic hit.
Oh, Mr. Ganger. Okay, good looking out. We appreciate that. One of my co-hosts I thought was going to be handling the comments for me, but apparently not.
I tried that. It was like click, 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 click,
yeah,
click.
He's still shook about that Purdue loss. That's all. He's trying to get his
stuff. April will start the USFL. It's football. No deal is reached. There will be no baseball season. Yeah, unfortunately. Go ahead. Continue your thought there, good sir.
And so because of that, what they're recognizing is, hey, look, we're never going to compete with these guys directly head to head. And so instead, what we can do is be able to pilot a lot of the things that we'd like to do that otherwise wouldn't be capable of being done at the NCAA level, and be able to have real results, real data pools that would, because again, this is still very much the same audience, that this stuff works, and then being able to implement it and grow the NFL game and its product in a better way for one of the first times in a long time, many would argue. So hopefully this is a positive sign of things to come. And again, I think The Rock's influence on it versus Vince McMahon's, because again, Vince, I think, is worn out his welcome in a lot of those venues. And so, that certainly helped show, hey, we're going to join you rather than attempt to beat you. And that can also most importantly benefit the players. Again, one of the things that has always kind of stunk about the NFL is that there isn't a G League. You can't go backwards, right? So once you're done, you're done. And instead, with these new leagues, we know they can coexist, and then give some opportunities for some guys. And we've seen that in 2019 on full display with what the XFL product looked like.
Speaking of The Rock, is he, Double J, the new Vince McMahon?
It's hard to argue that he's not, based on what he's been able to do with his business endeavors up to this point, and how successful he's been, both as an individual brand, but then also with his overall portfolio. I would argue, only some folks like Shaq and some others are, finally reaching that kind of realm also. So what I love about it, I think that type of change at the top is something that we've spent, feels like millennia on this program, attempting to try to get in the NFL. And so maybe we'll see that by way of the XFL, with new ownership, new coaching opportunities, management opportunities that will also carry over beyond the players. And that's what I'm most that's the outlook that I'm the most optimistic on.
All right, good
I just
stuff.
want to say for the record, Vince McMahon is a horrible owner. Like, look what he did to the WWE.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
AEW is the new up and coming. Like, who actually still?
Yes.
Like, come on.
Whoa. He been in business too long to call him horrible.
I'm not saying that. He was good back in the day, but what I'm saying is now he's not. He's a shadow of his former self. He's no longer.
How old is he anyway, though?
He's old.
This is man he used to be. That's why I'm happy he's not attached to XFL.
Well, none of us are. The older we get, the more decrepit we get. Well, in my case.
Thank you. WWE sucks.
He said AEW sucks. Oh man. No. But I'll say this though. Whatever professional wrestling is now, is because of Vince McMahon. It is. It's because of Vince McMahon. So yeah, he's not the same.
I get it, but he ran what he got.
No, he can thank his wife when Linda became a politician,
they were on the same team
and got thrown under the bus because the product that she was promoting had, you had, this was in the Attitude Era. So arguably I would say
Shawn Michaels era.
That man, you had everything.
Bro, Sweet Chin Music, Sting, and all them when WCW first fused with
Monday Night
WWF.
Wars, everything.
Oh my gosh, y'all gushing right now. Y'all gushing.
The Rock and Stone.
You had vampires like the Brood. You had models. Man,
brother
like
Rich,
bro, don't forget about the Dudley Boys. They couldn't people through tables.
They remind me of you talking about the Cowboys.
No.
They're having a real good old time. Somebody might
tell Brother Rich to go to bed.
Yeah,
he didn't take his nap today.
They might want a cigarette in a minute.
Yeah, like the pastor, y'all might need to wipe y'all's forehead. TJ, is The Rock the new Vince McMahon?
The Rock is The Rock. I wouldn't even put them in the same breath simply because he just owned wrestling. The Rock is doing so many different amazing things.
Okay.
Like he just spoke at the Super Bowl. Like I ain't never seen that before.
Like,
bro, the most electrifying intro ever. I wanted him to say, "If you smell," that's all.
Man, oh my god,
that's all I was waiting on. If you smell, that's it.
That outfit he had on, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody can adjust him a little bit better.
No.
I'm beginning to get concerned here.
What did you want him to not have a shirt on? Barbershop?
We want him to be dressed like a Dallas Cowboy fan.
That was a LeBron comment.
Hey, Doc, all he had to do was this. All he had to do was that.
That was it. That's it. And do the little eyebrow, the people's eyebrow. That's it.
Oh boy.
What about the rocket sock? What if we would have seen guest appearance Mankind?
Settle down, Chemo.
Hey, Socko and Mankind would have been a nice guest appearance too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barbershop, I didn't know you invited us to a WWE wrestling fan club.
Exactly.
Online.
My bad. I forgot that's a little bit after y'all time. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey.
No. These guys, they chose not to watch. They had the opportunity for some of the greatest events.
Right, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan. Y'all didn't watch none of them?
Andre the Giant, right. Junkyard Dog, Andre. Did I say Andre?
Okay, let your age show then, Barbershop. That's what I'm talking about, boy.
The Killer Bees, Nikita Koloff, the Iron Sheik. Come on, man. Don't act. And it was a cartoon out too. Don't act like I don't know what's happening.
I watched none of that. None of them.
Well,
he just watched the Cowboys.
And I think if you're asking the same question, I think that The Rock would be insulted to be compared to Vince McMahon because I think The Rock takes himself much more seriously than Vince McMahon took himself. He was always looked at as a buffoon who made a lot of money with a buffoon product. And when everybody understood
that's a very good point.
WWE was buffoonery, we understand it's a measure, a level of acting. We commend him for having put a good comedic sketch on. I mean, it's similar to people running around calling somebody the GOAT. Everybody knows it's a comedic sketch.
Hey, push that button, man. Push that button right now.
I will.
You done messed up.
Hey, but let me say
wrong
this,
button.
No, it was the right button. Let me say this. But unlike America and these governments and all these other sports entities, Vince McMahon never lied to us and said that this was real. Okay, so all right, you know what I'm saying? He didn't try to pass off. Hey,
hold on.
From
Even Spielberg didn't lie either. You just know what he's showing you on the screen is not real. You're supposed to know that.
Okay, I'm just saying, wrestling, they didn't never try to pass it off as this was a real deal. We always knew from day one what it was.
That it was sports entertainment.
We are having a wrestling reunion today.
Yes, I guess. Okay, yeah.
I'll sit this one out. I'm gonna do like the speaker does. When he don't like something, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't do my boy TJ like that.
Really,
I'm misunderstood.
Thing does when it's crunch time. Like right now, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a pass. I'm passing it to you,
Brother Rich coming with the one-liners. No, we are still talking XFL. Huh?
He's on tape delay, remember?
Yeah. Oh, that's right, TJ. You on tape delay. It's all good. We'll let you know after the fact.
We'll catch up with it.
So we'll tell you after the show over with.
Man, listen, Jay, I'm still waiting for this showdown with him because he ain't getting away with what he be saying, bro.
Oh, it's coming.
It's day coming, man. I just need a 20 minute.
Prepare that.
Steel cage.
Steel cage match.
Steel cage match. All right.
Heck in the cell. Hey-o in the cell.
Okay. All right. That's what we might call it then. See, this is why I got you all on here. See, you all help. You all help cultivate and bring forth new, refreshing ideas.
Next week, I'm gonna bring my 10 reasons why LeBron is the GOAT. Okay,
make sure y'all.
Okay, all right.
Before you do that, you need to go work on raising his free throw shooting by 10%. Okay.
Oh, brother Rich. Hey,
that's all good, Rich. Because if it was raised 10%, he would already have the record already 10 years ago.
No, it was raised.
That don't count for what we're talking about. Go raise it.
If it was raised 10%, it would be maybe right a little bit above Dwight Howard's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we can maybe lower it by 10% them all-time turnovers. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
so much hate for the king. It's so much hate for the king.
It's no hate. It's no hate. It's just observation.
I love LeBron.
He's gonna cry when we get off.
I know what's king.
He's not a better basketball player than Kobe Bryant. I don't care. And no planet on, not even in the movie y'all just
Right. Give me 2 reasons why.
He don't have that mama mentality. What are you talking about?
Because he ain't got names.
LeBron got carried off for cramps.
I got 200.
LeBron got carried off for cramps. Kobe tore his Achilles, finished his free throws, and then walked off. That's why he won't be a Kobe.
I still ain't get one from none of y'all. Y'all all saying all that.
Because we gonna say
he ain't heard because he ain't trying to listen.
Let me put that thing together. I might do it like
that. Here we go.
Kobe,
that's right.
Kobe,
that's
Kobe,
right.
Kobe, my boy. Kobe.
He in my top 5, but he ain't number 1.
He above LeBron. That's all I know.
Oh, shout out to Doc with that.
Who's LeBron? 4 and 6. Kobe would never.
It's like Paul Bearer, Doc. Ex sidekick.
Yeah. Oh wow. Really?
Kobe would never.
Stop. Cut that out. I do want to point out though. Well, I was gonna list some of the teams in the XFL, but it's only 8, I believe.
Hey, I got them right here pulled up too.
Yeah, go ahead and I appreciate that, Doc. Go ahead and list them off.
Grandpa out, man. You know he don't got his reading glasses.
Oh hell no!
See, okay, so now I saw Brother Rich, Double J, and Doc. I saw y'all all laugh, so now all of a sudden y'all on TJ's side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is unbelievable. Absolutely not. Yeah, read them off for me, Doc.
We got the Michigan Panthers, the New Jersey Generals, the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, the Birmingham Stallions, Houston Gamblers, New Orleans Breakers. These teams are where'd they get these names from?
I don't know.
And the Tampa Bay Bandits.
The same consulting company that helped the Washington football team.
Right, the Commanders. There we go. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That was the ASFL. Here we go. I was about to say, yeah. XFL. We got the Dallas Renegades. Another team for y'all to root for outside them Cowboys.
That's what it was.
Y'all got the Renegades now.
That's what it was about.
The Cowboys, the Renegades. I see y'all out here.
Yeah.
All right, we got the DC Defenders.
Hold on, Doc. So you in on it with them, huh?
He wants you to go back. He wants you to hold on because he wants you to go back over and say it again. So you
he wanted to make sure he heard his Dallas team right. I got you, Barbershop. I got you.
Well, he knows the psychology behind it.
We gonna get you a Dallas Renegade shirt to go with your Cowboys jersey. We got you, Brother Rich. Hook him up. Hook him up with one of them Renegade shirts.
You know what? Speaking of Trump earlier, all y'all fired.
All right, here we go. We got
get a couple rabbits. You know
all right, here we go. We got the Dallas Renegades, the DC Defenders, the Houston Roughnecks. Wow, Houston Roughnecks. Mm-hmm. The LA Wildcats, the New York Guardians, the Seattle Dragons, the St. Louis Battlehawks, and the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Yeah, and the reason why I wanted you to, Mr. Ganger weighing in again, Tampa Bay Vipers was a team. I hope it still is. Did you say Tampa Bay Vipers? Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a team. They're still there.
Okay. The reason why I wanted you to read that off, the Seattle, what is it? The Seattle, did you say the Seattle Dragons?
The Seattle Dragons, yeah.
And what was the Vipers? The Vipers of who?
The Tampa Bay Vipers.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Ganger, I'm sorry I got to do this to you, but the uniforms for the Vipers and the Dragons, that's disgusting.
They're trash, ain't they?
Oh my gosh! And some of the teams you mentioned were teams from the original XFL.
Yeah, they were.
Or USFL or whatever. I forget what some
of
the names.
The Seattle Dragons was an original team. The Dallas Renegades was an original team. I think the Vipers was the original team.
No, of the USFL.
The USFL. Yeah,
the USFL. So the XFL then picked up a few team names from the USFL, USFL. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was a couple of guys who like household names in the NFL who played in the USFL. Reggie White, I believe, was one.
I got a couple of them for you. Tommy Maddox, John Avery, Jim Drunkenmiller, James Hutton, Kevin
Kelly,
Swain, Aaron Bailey, Mario Bailey, Scott Miller, whatever his name,
Oh my!
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Hey, yo, that's enough. All right.
Rod Smart, Mike Polanski. These are all people that played in the NFL that just didn't quite make it. Now they're in the XFL and the ASFL.
You're saying them names like Brown shoots free throws, just a little bit.
Oh, TJ, don't worry about it, man. It's all love.
Hey, he gonna cry. He gonna cry tonight as soon as y'all hang up.
Yeah. But some of them USFL team names, the Orlando Breakers or whatnot, the Reggie White played in the USFL. Jim Kelly played in the USFL. Who else was it? There's a few other. Who else was Herschel Walker. He played for the New Jersey Generals. Yeah, those are USFL teams. So I mean, I'm glad to see the XFL come back. Well, man,
Did you drink your Insure today?
I'm happy the XFL came back. I am
too. Football. No, I didn't drink my Insure today. Okay, I'm drinking.
We need to make sure that somebody drink Insure that they can hit them damn free throws and pass the ball. Ensure that they can
okay, Insure that you don't lose into the finals.
That way. Don't worry about his Insure.
Hey, can I say?
Oh, you need to get an insurance policy for all them bricks that Westbrook been throwing up.
So they have been building houses all on Westbrook bricks.
I don't speak for him. So
I know they be concerned about the people sitting near courtside when them bricks go up, man.
Brothers, they're giving them
all like a war zone out there, ain't it?
They're giving them all helmets. They're giving them all helmets. All the people in the front row, they're giving them all helmets.
They say when you shoot, just duck.
Yeah, now, what were you gonna say? There
used to be coveted seats on sitting at the Laker game on courtside. Now it's like sit at your own risk.
Yeah,
they got glass like it's a hockey game now.
Everybody knows if you're sitting courtside and the game is on the line and a certain person got the ball, you might get a pass.
Yeah,
you might.
Hey, what'd you say, Doc? They put up plexiglass like they do in the NHL.
I said they put up glass like they did at hockey games.
Anybody would get a pass
Hey, Russell Westbrook said, "When I get the ball, everybody shoot."
I don't get that joke. What that joke mean? Like, what you mean by that joke?
You get a shot. You get a shot.
Yeah,
you get a shot.
Everybody
get a shot.
Yeah.
I swore last game I saw Lil Wayne out there shoot a 3.
He show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, right after DJ Khaled.
Right after DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook tour. All I heard was another one.
It's comedy hour. I see it. It's comedy hour.
Well, no, it's comedy hour when somebody go to the free throw line. That's comedy hour. I lost my money now.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, what's really funny is that the Lakers situation didn't have to turn out the way it's looking right now. They could have had Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, or DeMar DeRozan. 2 of the 3 at least. But
I took DeRozan and Buddy Hield before I took Westbrook.
All day, every day. So that's what's funny. You had a chance to actually, validate what,
win another chip.
Exactly. Outside the bubble. And then what you go and do? You go and muck it up before the season even started. And hey, listen, I don't knock Westbrook on the fact that
he trash.
No. Well, I mean, his decision making in certain situations is, you can't question that. But two words that you can't, that's not synonymous with his name: load management. Okay, the dude he bring it every night. Now you got to duck, like he said. What
did he bring?
Hey, he show up and do this. But at the end of the day, the man come to play. He play hard. He's questionable at times, the stuff he do, but he show. You can't say load management with his name, and it's something to be said for that.
That's his problem.
Can you say load of bricks?
Load of bricks.
I like what you did right there, because I appreciate you, cutting it off at the curb. But anyway,
Russell Westbrook's problem is he defeats himself when it comes down to clutch moments. He feels like if I can't do it, it's not gonna get done. So he ends up forcing shots, forcing passes, because he's trying to make something happen himself instead of realizing I got a team around me. I don't have to do this by myself.
Well, playing with LeBron, he would have got the pass anyway.
Playing with LeBron, you gonna do what LeBron tell you to do. So
no, you're not.
Yeah,
that's because LeBron a good teammate. You feel me?
No, LeBron is you gonna do what I tell you to. I'm gonna trade you like that. That's it.
Oh hell no!
LeBron,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Look at Cleveland.
Listen though.
Look at that team he started in Cleveland. Remember that at one point in time they had Dwayne Wade, J.R. Smith. They had a whole squad of people there.
Yeah, they had
that lasted about a month, and then he traded them all away again.
Campy Russell, Bingo Smith. You know what
I'm saying? He had half the NBA over there in Cleveland, then traded them all after a month.
Yeah, they had Ron Harper and Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan.
Ron Artest, all of them out there.
Yeah, that was on Monday, and then on Tuesday I looked at the plain deal, and they all was gone.
Yep.
The Washington Generals.
Now you heard the relationship is in bad shape. With Rich Paul has made it clear that the relationship between the Lakers and LeBron has been damaged and may not be salvageable.
Because LeBron can't have his way, so he think about going back to Cleveland where he can do what he wants. He can.
Well, and Anthony Davis is already suggesting that he's going to Chicago.
Anthony Davis is fragile. Like, that's Mr. Glass.
But listen, that's because Rob Pelinka, the relationship is damaged because Rob Pelinka took a Pat Riley type stance. Look here, I've long since said, if you are what certain folks on this program and outside of this program think you are, you can think what you want to think. But at some point, you're going to have to work with what's already there. You can't keep getting rid of and then getting who you at, and then when it don't work out, want to talk about or start throwing out stuff, I'm about to be out and all that. No, you're going to have to look in the cabinet, and you see you ain't got shrimp and lobster this week. You're going to have to make a meal. You're going to have to work with what you already got if you that guy. And that's what he said. He said, look, man, we done made moves already because at your request, so to speak.
He don't
ain't no
deals.
more money. Ain't no more money. So guess what? No, I'm not giving you money so you can go buy McDonald's. I give you $50 for my son one time. I gave him $40, man. They said this got to last you. Man, the dude went out and bought all kind of candy and everything. And then gonna talk about the next couple of days. Hey, Dad, can you give me some money for somebody? No. You better look in that refrigerator and make you a mayonnaise sandwich.
You better put some water on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. You better.
I'd like to suggest something else to us about what we're looking at here. Unfortunately, the king, and let me give this disclaimer for the speaker.
He's not the king.
But no, I want to give it this record for the speaker because he's referred to as the king, so I respect his title that he calls himself. Okay, he's called a king.
No, everybody calls him that.
King. Ain't nobody ever called him that.
Everybody don't call him that. No, that's not true. We respect that he's called that. He calls himself that, and that his crew, and that he's looked at as that. We respect that.
Wait, bro, Rich, don't you?
Everybody got
have you heard the
now.
story?
Come on, man.
Where the chosen one came from?
ESPN. I'm Sports Illustrated. Yes.
No. It was from, according to Ron Artest, he was at a camp with Michael Jordan and LeBron and all of those guys. And after Michael watched him play, he said he's the one.
Okay.
And so from that moment on, he was chosen.
Hold it. Consider the source. I know for a fact that ain't true.
What?
Brother Rich, you and I know a certain dude here who owns a car wash, who used to own the Next stores, all 3 Next stores in Cleveland, who when all that stuff went down, and in large part the reason why he did not go to college when it came out was the Hummer and the jerseys and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not at liberty to do so right now.
Listen.
Man, no, I'm not about to.
You at liberty. No, you at liberty.
No.
A long time ago.
Listen.
Don't knock down his source. Don't knock down his source and say I'm not at liberty to say why I'm knocking down your source.
No. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna make a phone call. I'll get Ron Artest on the show.
Okay, listen. Listen.
So Ron Artest is not credible, huh? He just seemed like a type of guy who just lied for no reason.
No, I didn't. No. I'm not saying that.
But that can be addressed. Simply, here's the thing. Saying somebody is the one don't mean that what you could think it means, because you can go in many gyms and you can tell the one guy in there that you look at him and say,
that's the best one in the gym right now. That's the one.
No. It ain't what. It's not what was said. It was who said it. It's who said it. It's who said it.
But Jordan also said that about Kobe when he saw Kobe play.
But listen, I'm about to
go. Look it up. Like what?
Go ahead, Brother Rich. Go ahead. Let him finish.
Go right to this program. Barbershop Jay is the person who told me about right in the same barbershop there in Cleveland Heights. You told me that LeBron was, when you saw him play, that guy's the one. He coming to the league. People thought that about him early. That's okay to say he was the one.
Hold on, Brother Rich. Brother Rich,
the next one to come out of high school straight to the league.
It's who said it.
Listen, Brother Rich. Yeah, no, it's not about who. It's not about who. It's about whether or not what's being said makes sense.
Yeah,
it ain't about who. We
He's the one to be the next superstar in the NBA. That don't mean he's the best.
Can I say something? Because y'all be tripping, man. It's so funny how y'all jump against this, what he just said, because it's LeBron. But listen, now that's two great players who said that, right? Allen Iverson was the other one who said it, and Jordan was the other one. So,
hey, but Allen Iverson also, but hold on. But listen, Ron Artest said Jordan said that. Jordan didn't say that. So we going off something Ron Artest said. So he said, she said, but she said she didn't.
I seen Iverson say it. So
come on, man. Okay. So listen. But okay, so if that's the case, what did Iverson say about Kobe?
He that one too. He said, listen. He that one.
So in other words,
but then listen.
Anything.
But listen. He said after that, he got to LeBron after he said Kobe. He was like, no, but LeBron, he that one, man. I know. He said. Then he said, Jordan, my dude, that's my guy.
So how many is it?
Allen Iverson just did an interview where he said y'all got to put some respect on Kobe's name. Y'all keep talking about LeBron and Jordan, and neglecting Kobe. Like what you talking about right now don't even matter because he was talking about the one to be the next superstar in the league, not this is who's the GOAT. This ain't that's not that.
Thank you. It's a difference.
It's not that.
Let me say this.
And I don't know about third party saying this. What I do know is there is an actual tape, and it's on YouTube of Michael Jordan speaking at one of his camps, and they asked him, Michael Jordan, they asked him Kobe Bryant or LeBron James, and he said 5 beats 3 at that time or 4 every time. And he
absolutely
5 beats 3 every time.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
I mean, Michael.
So okay. So listen, 10 beat 6 or 11 beat 6 every time, right?
That's why I said there's no such thing as a GOAT.
No, we ain't gonna say you ain't gonna listen. You can't.
They asked Jordan who's the better player. He said 5 beats 3. In Jordan's eyes, Kobe's 5 is better than LeBron's 3.
Okay, so in Jordan's eyes, that means what's it called? Bill Russell is the GOAT then, because that's how he look at it.
No, he said who's the better player. They didn't want nothing about no GOAT. They said who's the better player, Kobe or LeBron. They didn't say who's the GOAT, Kobe or LeBron. Jordan already said I'm the GOAT.
Thank you.
It was who's the better player, Kobe or LeBron, and 5 beats 3 every time. So I'm gonna take Kobe's 5 and 2 over LeBron's 3 and 6 with 4 and 6 now.
Hey, listen, and let me say this. I'm glad you pointed that out, Brother Rich. I don't like doing that though. When I was still hooping, lived in Akron, I was playing at a park. Some dudes from Holborn or whatever it is, one of the St. Vincent St. Mary's rivals. We played the team I picked. We played against them, and that's all they kept talking about. Man, we about to get this. Man, we gonna get J&M this year. I guess it's they come up through the middle school rank, 7th, 8th grade, whatever that is. These teams been together for a while, type of deal. So I'm like, man, the way these dudes is talking about some dude, I go home and I ask if at the time I'm like, man, who is this LeBron guy? She's like, I don't know. Like what? Like she's like, what you want for dinner? So we've been watching the TV or whatever it is, and they talking about a game upcoming. I go to the game. It was who was the rival? Was it Holborn? Booked or somebody? One of them schools, St. Vincent St. Mary's playing, and I forget because I seen Brian dunk off the tip off. They tipped the ball to me, went down and did it. I said, oh my gosh. And that's when I came in the shop, Brother Rich. I told Dre, everybody, I said, hey man, this dude ain't going to college.
I remember that.
This is before we hollered at my dude that owned the watches. Was you know what I'm saying? And we was in there hollering at him too. I said, man,
let me record you because I ain't gonna never see you gloat about this again. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, get your recording on. But it's already being taped. So I mean, what you doing? It's like what you mean, a double negative?
I need this.
I said this.
I need this to be at all times.
But so there was a time I was all in favor of him. But when I saw what he did to Mike Brown in a game the Cavs was playing,
oh my God!
In a game the Cavs was playing against the Atlanta Hawks when Daniel Marshall and all them guys was on the squad.
Them bums.
Same thing. I don't care that what they are, what you think they are, ain't got nothing to do with the disrespect that he did. Listen. They were all going through the play, finishing the play out. The game was at its end. I don't know if the Cavs was winning or losing. No, they were losing, had to. He did the same thing then that you see if you go back and look at all the tapes up until now, you've seen him do before. He just walked off the court, man. Everybody else was still doing their thing. He walked right off the court while everybody was going back on defense. Had his head down. Mike Brown was kind of standing with one foot on the court, still giving out last-minute instructions. He had his arms, his hands on his waist like this. Man, you all remember what he did to Eric Spoelstra? When he almost knocked Eric Spoelstra, he did the same thing to Mike Brown.
He took the clipboard from him and decided to coach on his own.
Listen, and I said, wait a minute. I'm sitting with my dude. I said,
that's when I said he the GOAT.
No, that's disrespectful. You don't just.
I said, dog, for a young dude to do that, that's like self-entitlement. I said, you got to, and I think we talked about this maybe on last week's show a week before, how you become something or get a name and you hadn't even done nothing in the league that you get the name for yet. Do that make sense? Doc, Magic, all of them dudes had to put in work first. Jordan wasn't his airness when he first hit the league. You had to put in work first. How you get to be the one, the chosen one to be specific, and you hadn't even played in the league yet?
Hold on. He can't get a nickname because he ain't played in the league yet?
Listen. What I'm saying to you is, everybody else that had put in work, like Magic, for instance, in college, Magic was a dog. But didn't nobody start calling Magic Magic until he got to the league and started doing it? Because you still, even though you did what you did at the previous levels, you still got to prove it at that level. He had not proven anything yet to be called the chosen one. Whether you like it or not, whether you're in favor of it or not.
Whoa.
I'm not even about to argue. I'm not about to argue with y'all, bro. I'm not about to argue.
He was in a camp and he went against the league's best defenders at that point.
Man, I don't care. But did he listen? He didn't go against the bad boy Pistons. He didn't go against Artis Gilmore, or he didn't go against Bird, or he didn't get
Tony Allen.
Yeah, listen.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
A young Tony Allen, the first team all defense, dog. Like a young. I mean, you talking about old Tony? You talking about young Tony?
Not
young Tony.
Oklahoma State Tony Allen, right?
Huh?
Not Oklahoma State Tony Allen.
Listen, Tony Allen.
304.
Tony Allen is a good defender, but he wasn't that 03 Pistons. What? He wasn't that Pistons team that took down Shaq and Kobe, was he? Okay, then.
No.
But
my point is
LeBron didn't go against a young Tony Allen.
No. LeBron went against that Pistons teams and destroyed them by himself. Yeah,
they had traded away so many people by the end. Like, what are you talking about? They didn't have that championship team.
Well, you can make that same claim, Doc, that's when the Bad Boy Pistons were old. They had lost players when Jordan.
I'm not saying that's not win. I'm just saying they were much older when he started playing, and that's all I'm saying. They weren't prime.
The point I'm trying to make is
who went prime?
Your decorum and your
demeanor. The Pistons and Tony Allen were not in their prime.
Your decorum and your demeanor.
Billups retired 10 years after that, brother. What are you talking about?
Listen,
10 years after that. What?
Whether who beat who win at what point, that's irrelevant. What I'm saying is, when you're a young dude, listen, at what point did people start calling Jordan his airness? At what point did people start calling Magic?
When he won a dunk contest?
Yeah.
After that first ring?
No.
Okay, listen.
That would be before that ring.
He had done it at the highest level. He had done
something at the highest level. Man, he did a dunk contest, bro. That's nothing right.
No. Matter of fact, they start calling him that when he dropped that 63 on Boston. That's when they started calling him that, actually.
Didn't he lose that game?
Okay, but listen. What I'm saying
to
you is...
No. You saying stuff, but say the whole story.
I'm saying to you... It's not about winning and losing. It's about you.
Okay, well, if it ain't about winning and losing, then he definitely deserved that name.
Okay, listen. Then. What I'm saying let me say it this way then. Let me say it this way.
You can't say it no way. You going back on what you're saying, bro.
No, I'm not going back on what I'm saying. You're misconstruing what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, at what point, in other words, regardless if it was a dunk contest, a super soaker contest, them guys that we all know and love, that we called names to, they had already done something at the highest level. Whatever it was. He hadn't done nothing at the highest level yet.
Listen, this argument would be valid if this was 2004, but it ain't. It's 2022, dog, and he had done a lot.
I'm going back to the beginning. Listen.
He has done a lot.
Oh, man.
He said he didn't do enough to get the nickname he had when he had it.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Part of it. I don't have any problem with LeBron being called
that jump was self-proclaimed.
Or I don't have any problem with him being called a chosen one or him being called a king. LeBron is a fantastic human being. He's one of the most phenomenal basketball players we've ever seen. He's given young players and their family a new way to do this. He's taken back a lot of the power in the players' hands. There's no questioning that LeBron is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. LeBron James is not a better basketball player than Kobe Bryant. That's the fundamental argument. He's not a better basketball player. In the eyes of the players, he's not a better basketball player. And here's what we're looking at with LeBron.
Well, why do they consider him on Mount Rushmore and not Kobe? Just answer that.
They do put Kobe on Mount Rushmore.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Mount Rushmore, you looking at?
Kobe is not.
Nobody show me a Mount Rushmore. Kobe's not on, TJ.
Kobe is not on the Mount Rushmore.
Not on your Mount Rushmore.
Your Mount Rushmore.
No.
Hey.
No, he's not on your Mount. But he's
there's been plenty of players where Kobe's on that Mount Rushmore, dog.
He's on the Lakers Mount Rushmore.
No, he's on the regular Mount Rushmore of the top 5 greatest, bro.
Hey, let Brother Rich finish. Let him finish his thought. Then you come to you,
All
TJ.
I'm going to say is this. I'm speaking not emotionally. These are facts. Kobe Bryant has more players who idolize him and follow him and use his techniques and studied under him and still study him to this day. Nobody patterns their game after LeBron because LeBron.
Okay.
Wait. No.
Let him finish.
Nobody patterns their game after LeBron because LeBron is unique in his own personhood. And what he brought to basketball was very unique. We credited him with that. There's no doubt about that. But basketball-wise, technique-wise, skill-wise, he does not compare to the finer graded athletes.
Mamba mentality.
And a coach does not have the same mentality. That's just a fact. You can't change that. There's nothing you can do with all your argument and your sentiment and your comeuppance can make that change.
Listen. So you said what you said.
We see with these eyes that he passes the ball in crunch time. We see with these eyes that he doesn't want to go to the free throw.
Because he passed the ball to the open player. That's what y'all saying? That's a bad play?
No,
it is because Kobe, like, if I'm going to win, the ball got to be in my hand. LeBron's like, I'm finna pick it up. Dwayne Wade said in an interview that he had said, tell LeBron, take over. This is your team. Stop passing the ball.
Listen. Michael Jordan passed the ball to Steve Kerr, did he not?
One time.
Yes.
Okay,
No.
One time, bro.
Hey, listen, hold on. But Michael Jordan did not pass the ball to Steve Kerr when he had an opportunity to take it to the rack or do something on your back.
What?
That's what we're trying to say.
He didn't pass in Utah. We can count countless numbers.
Listen. Y'all active as if LeBron does what Ben Simmons did last year in the playoffs. He does not. Everybody know what LeBron. Listen. Man, no, he not, bro. Listen.
Wow.
Bro, we won game. The Cleveland Cavaliers won Game 7 because he went to the free throw line and made one. So did he not make it?
You gotta go to one game when he's playing in Cleveland. We just watched this the other night, speaker.
He missed that free throw when they could have came back and won that game. What happened there?
Listen. Y'all talking about a regular season game. How many times in the play?
What difference do it make? We're talking about what you do and don't do.
Listen, because with the game on the line in the playoffs, y'all have seen him make countless game winners.
No, y'all have.
Okay. The one in Orlando before he left the Cavs. When it was like 0.4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, we seen that. And
hold on. In 2018, he had 3 in a row. Okay, not 2018, 2017 after Kyrie left. When we was playing with, he had 3 in a row.
3 in a row. What?
Game winners. 2. It was 2 in the series with the Toronto and the one with the if I'm not mistaken, it was Boston.
Double J, are you second in all of this? You're just
didn't Toronto win that year though?
No, LeBron never lost in the East. Let's get that out the picture right now. Oh
yeah, you're right. He ain't losing the East.
Once he started winning, he never lost. Okay, that was 3 in that one.
When he started winning what in the East, or when he started winning
in
championships?
In the East, bro.
When he started winning championships.
The East was so good.
When he started winning championships.
y'all called the East weak, but so he left, right? Yo, hold
on.
Hold on.
That East was so weak when LeBron was here, bro.
Hold on. Y'all called the East so weak. The year he left the East, Toronto Raptors won the NBA Finals.
With Kawhi Leonard.
With Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard was in Toronto when LeBron was in the East, LeBron might not LeBron would have lost to that Toronto team.
Man, you act like Kawhi Leonard wasn't on that team. You try to act like Toronto was the Washington Generals.
So LeBron is on camera mad that Kyrie's guarding him, like shaking his head.
Hold on. This was so funny. So once he leave, the East was strong again, huh?
No, so what happened when Kawhi left? What happened when Kawhi? Let's follow your argument to its logical conclusion. What happened when Kawhi left Toronto? You don't want to talk about that, huh?
What happened? They didn't win.
They went to the finals.
It's the same thing.
So we letting you know that he's the equation that makes the difference. It was that Kawhi was there. Toronto was still weak before when Kawhi goes there for a year on an agreement. They rally and they win the title. He leaves and they go back to being what they were when they.
And I tell you this, Kawhi stay, they go back to back. Kawhi stay in Toronto, they win back to back.
Everybody said that. If Kawhi stays, they go back to back.
Let me ask you something. So if the West was strong, right? That's what y'all saying?
No, I'm not saying the West was strong. The West
was always stronger than the East. I will say that the West has always been stronger than the East.
Stronger than the East. That's what we're saying. We're saying it's
listen, if one side was weak, one side got to be strong.
Well, that's what we're telling you. I said it was stronger than the East.
Okay, but it was so strong that only the Golden State Warriors came out for the last 5 years. But it was so strong.
Because they had the best collection of talent.
They did. And if you look at the Western Conference record, a lot of people on the West had better records than the people on the East.
Miami, he had the big press conference saying, not one, not two, not three, not. Why? Because they had the best collection.
But listen, this where your argument dies, because the West was so strong. Why when LeBron went over there, everybody ran to the East?
Who ran to
Nobody ran to the East. Who ran to the East?
Who ran to the East?
The best player, your best player in the world right now, he ran to the East.
Kevin Durant already knew where he was going to go.
That was a foregone conclusion long before LeBron ever.
Right, before LeBron even got there, Kevin Durant already knew he was leaving Golden State.
Hey, listen.
Kevin Durant was on record saying he left Golden State because of the beef him and Draymond Green had going on, not because of LeBron.
Fact.
You're giving LeBron credit for something that LeBron didn't even do.
You've been quiet.
This is not.
Hold on.
And then you can't count that one championship LeBron won in the West. That's bubble ball, dog.
Hold on. Double J, you've been quiet over there, man. What? Come on now. You got to join the fray.
Well,
he over there crying about Purdue.
Huh?
No, I was looking at his high school stuff because he had lost a couple games and then beat, a couple teams at the same time. I wanted to know who was on those particular teams because he obviously had beaten Oak Hill, he had beaten Matter Day. The Oak Hill team, had guys like I want to say Chuck Hayes and Cliff Hawkins and some of these guys that would ultimately make it to the league, but he was
but end up like Felipe Lopez.
Well, but okay, but at the same time, he had lost to a couple teams that was a little that were local teams. Like he lost to one of the other I want to say who was it? He lost to Amityville, New York. He lost to
he lost the Carmelo team.
Cincinnati.
No, he didn't lose Carmelo.
And then who was it? Akron Booktel. Who's
Booktel? That's what. Yeah, Booktel. Yeah, that's what. Right. Booktel.
Yo, they had a player that would like rival LeBron. Like it was LeBron.
That's why right behind me, I had the high school highlights because when I watched it way back in the day,
they were top two, bro.
They were going head to head against each other, and it was the only guy I've ever seen that I was
like head to head with LeBron.
And so I'm wondering, was it from that team? And then who was that guy now in today's context? So
well, he not around now because after LeBron beat them in that finals game you talking about. He got lost into the guy you're talking about that went head to head with LeBron. He got like in street trouble. He was selling drugs. And he was doing other stuff that wasn't, off the court antics is why he's not where he's supposed to be.
And I get it. It's high school, but it ain't college and it ain't the NBA. My gosh, listen, we want to talk about high school and all that. It's been a lot of them, but let me tell you something right now.
Look at that year, you got Michi Johnson. Isn't he the original Michi Johnson?
Yeah, listen, and I played against Sonny and all of them guys, but let me say this to you right now. When you want to talk about high school teams, if that's the case, if we giving Lyndon all the credence to what you did in high school, I'm not knocking it, then let's talk about the boys of Dunbar.
I want to talk about them.
I know you don't, because still to this day, the boys of Dunbar did something that whoever, St. Vincent and anybody else that you can name they didn't do.
Right.
Yeah, so come on, man, miss me what you did in high school. High school, yay, clap, clap, clap.
But listen, he got his nickname because they could see his greatness. They could see it.
Oh man, stop it.
That's literally why. That's why. Like, no.
Hey, look, the dude y'all talking about right now, his name is Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook is the only dude to be ranked higher than LeBron in high school.
No, not him. I'm talking about in Ohio. He played the game.
Oh, you talking about in Ohio? I thought you talking about the dude lost to. I'm like, wait, that was Lenny Cook when he was going back and forth.
Listen, they wasn't calling in the chosen one. Know nothing like that, but you can say the same thing about Clark Kellogg when he played here in Ohio. Go look up what Clark Kellogg did here.
Yeah,
man, come on, man. Clark Kellogg was a dog.
Look how. Oh, look at.
Yeah, look how.
No. He's in the camp.
This is what LeBron does to him, man.
No, it's the false justification. That's what do it for me.
See if I can find.
I don't have no dogs in the fight. Brother Richard to be the first. He'll tell you right here now. I don't have no favorite players and favorite teams no more, because the style of play, for all of y'all talk about how great the Today BA is and how better these players are, the style of play is uncompelling.
No defense or offense.
It's garbage.
Everybody's
shooting threes like they Steph Curry, and you're not. So miss me with that. Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna figure out a way. We're gonna watch a game together, and I promise you.
Hey,
hold on. No, hold on. I promise you, I will pick whoever it is, bring them to this table. Let us watch the game. I'm gonna pick your argument apart about these Today BA players. I promise you, I will. Because
all gas, no breaks now.
I guarantee you don't see the game because of the distractions. Hey, watch a game with no volume. Do that for 48 minutes. I bet you can't do it.
I'm gonna
a bunch of mysteries and maybe a couple dunks.
I'm gonna give you one player.
Hang on.
I'm gonna give you one player.
Hold on. Let Double J say what he said. Go ahead.
Ron Artest says Michael Jordan was the first to dub LeBron the chosen one. Footage of the legendary scrimmage is set to release July 2023.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh my God. So there is something public on this coming out.
Hold on.
I knew it.
Hold it.
I was just
hold it.
That's the chosen one. Like that's the next good player. That don't mean he's the GOAT.
Hold on. Thank you. Yes. In that footage,
said the same thing about Kobe though.
Hold on. In that footage, you better point out the audio of Jordan saying that. Give me the audio, because showing footage of what happened back then ain't the same as the audio actually Jordan saying it.
Well,
I don't try that.
Here's the thing, though. I actually like that he pointed that out, because here's the thing. Let's look at the language that we're talking about. The chosen one. If Jordan is saying he's the chosen one, what's he chosen for? Chosen by whom?
Thank you.
Who's he chosen? What's he chosen for and chosen by whom?
Thank you.
Listen, Rich.
He's the chosen one. He's the next best player. He's the next best up.
That's what he's saying. That's all he's saying.
And
that's all he's saying.
Gentlemen, let's not miss that Michael Jordan was also talking about he's chosen in terms of his marketability. We see that today. He's chosen in terms of what the NBA product was able to market and push the next generation.
Nah, Rich. Mr.
That's what that meant, though. That's why Jordan picks Kobe over LeBron.
No, this was a scrimmage before he got to the NBA, so it wasn't no marketing. None of that had to do with it.
Jordan saw all of that, though. Jordan could see that in players. That's why he said what he said about Kobe.
When Jerry West saw him and said he's the chosen one, he the one. That guy right there is the one. He wasn't in the NBA. He was 17 years old. So Michael Jordan.
But Jerry West was right. He was.
Michael Jordan knew what he was looking at. He knew what he was looking at.
And Jerry West did too.
Okay, that's correct. You're not going to look at LeBron James. When I saw LeBron James at 18 years old, I knew what he was going to be. I knew LeBron James. The barbershop will tell you, I've known LeBron James since he was 17 years old as well.
Yes.
He's always had a certain thing about him where you knew that this guy is going to be great. You could tell that. This is not that doesn't take a rocket science to figure out, my friend.
Thank you.
He didn't say he was the GOAT. He just said he's going to be the next great player in the NBA.
We're not debating whether LeBron is a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal specimen, a unique force of nature in terms of what he brings to a basketball court. That's not debatable.
We're just saying he's not better than Kobe.
We're just saying he's not better than Kobe. Well,
he's on Mount Rushmore and Kobe's not. That's the end of the day.
That's your Mount Rushmore.
Hey, listen. I'd like to at least it comes with a direct quote. So I think that adds more color to this. It's from Ron Artest. Thank you. I came in with LeBron, and Mike asked,
Meta world
he's
peace.
The one? Question mark. Ron nodded. That kid was 16. He was in awe. Mike and Bron were on the same team every game and never lost. They never lost. Mike was Mike, but LeBron took over the gym that day. None of us could guard the 16-year-old, and we were all NBA defensive guys. Bron hit one baseline fadeaway over me for game, and Mike looked over at me and said, "That's the one." Once Mike stamped LeBron as the one, that's when all the chosen one labels came about.
Okay, so let me you can say that about Kobe. You can say that about Bird. You can listen. And if you go back, what I said, the boys at Dunbar, if you read the book at the ABCD camp or whatever that camp is, that all the top recruits or all the people go to, let me tell you who they said. Let me tell you who they said was the best. Let me tell you who they said was the best player to ever go through that camp. Wingate. And the dude in the book. David Wingate. And listen, I'm going to bring the book. I'm going to bring the book up on the next week's program, and I will read to you the passage.
I don't want to read it. I don't want to hear it.
I know you don't want to read. I know you don't want to read it.
LeBron. That's why you don't want to hear it.
I know you don't want to read it.
That man
can't read it. Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't.
Let me tell you. Let me use the language of the one again. That you can look this up too. I'm sure our esteemed host can find this somewhere in his archives. There was a basketball player in the 80s that came through that Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and so many others proclaimed that this guy right here, he's the next one. He's the one. He got killed? His name is Len Bias. Everyone said that he was the one. So the language of the one, of the people, as a matter of fact, on this program, we talked when a young phenom was coming through. And when he was in high school and wrecking rims, we talked about a young man that everybody saw he was coming up and he was going to be in the NBA. His name was Zion Williamson. So we see players coming up and they're identified early in their career, early in their performative years.
They all thought Zion was going to be the next one.
16-year-old performing with grown men, having the body of LeBron didn't just have this body. LeBron had a grown man's body when he was 17, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So for him to go in the gym and perform at that level, you could see that. I'm sure they could see, as we can all see today, the results of that.
Oh, yeah. It was the same with Zion before Zion started getting hurt. And everybody thought he was out there playing bully ball. He's a little boy bullying these grown men.
That's what they said.
It's bully ball. Like they thought Zion was going to be that next one, and then Zion started getting hurt. Now, if he stays, come on now, Joey.
No, we never.
He was playing bully ball in Duke before he got hurt. Come on now.
I thought John Moran was
Zion was unstoppable in Duke.
Yeah,
until Zion started getting hurt. Come on now.
Yeah.
We knew he was out of shape.
Double.
He was unstoppable.
Hold on, Doc.
You know what? You know who else was unstoppable? Now he's on the Pistons. What's his face there? The center that we just got, Bagley. Bagley had better stats than Zion.
Okay, but it still don't change the fact that people say this is a kid out here bullying grown men.
But they didn't say about Bagley what they said about Zion.
No, they didn't.
They didn't say about Ja at Murray State what they said about Zion.
Exactly.
That might be because he was at Murray State, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly. I get that because he's at Murray State, but Zion was still out there doing things that other players weren't doing at the time he was doing.
Because it's the NBA. The NBA mantra is you cannot teach size. The NBA will always draft size over a small.
That's why Jabari Smith right now is there.
Jabari got to get in shape, dog.
But I'll go back to Larry Bird.
They gotta get in better shape.
Larry Bird played for the Indiana State Sycamores in college.
Right.
Yeah, that's
who
true.
knew who the Sycamores were?
Right.
So Larry Bird was the one.
Zion is going to get in shape as soon as he gets out of New Orleans. Once he gets to New York, he'll have.
Kobe was the one.
I mean, come on, man. You could say that, but that's basketball.
I don't know.
Jordan warned other players about Kobe. They said you're gonna have to. He on record saying it. You gonna have to watch out for him.
But he was already in NBA, bro.
Even before he got to the NBA, Jordan is already saying you gotta watch out for Kobe.
Hey, look at these kids now.
He is, bro. Look it up, bro.
You gotta look that up. I've never heard of
All
that.
right, I'll pull it up right now.
This is the one thing I would defend about that guy. There is no way, that title, that crown of being like this guy is the one has only been like Barbershop pointed out. Magic, Bird, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. There's only a handful of guys. There is no way that it was being tossed around that recklessly with literally, you're talking about elite limited company, especially when you start looking at these kids now in high school. Look at somebody like Mikey Williams, and he's transferred to like 3 different schools.
Yeah.
That he went from, now he's in Lake Norman. Chet, on the other hand, again, these guys, they look at Imani. They had to form a team around
Imani Bates.
Right.
Yeah.
Imani would probably be the closest because of his age that would be given he's got next. He's the youngest Gatorade winner of the year.
Hey.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. We talking about players though. What about my man with the one arm? I forgot what his name is.
Yeah,
he
He be boiling
with one arm, dog. I cannot wait till he get to the league.
Now here's
hold on.
Was given a D1 offer from Memphis, so just those who don't follow, as close.
And he got one from TSU as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But
Memphis got. There's no way he makes it to the NBA.
Yeah, they
probably not. But I would like to see him at least in the G League working with the NBA.
But you know what?
I think he's a phenomenal basketball player.
He is.
But you know what, though, Brother Rich? But you know what, though? And I know it's not the same, but Jim Abbott played for the Yankees.
Hang on, let me ask something real quick. These dudes are out here playing with one hand every day anyway.
We can't play basketball.
Look at little man
Shaquille anymore. You can't hand check anymore. They're playing with one arm anyway. So
we'll have to wait and see. But I would love to see it. But I see both sides.
I want to give these one shot.
You all are saying you all are denigrating the NBA product so thoroughly.
Well, the NBA did a good job of that on its own, Brother Rich.
I'm personally not going to denigrate the basketball that I love that much. Where I'm going to say that somebody at a professional. We're not talking about park, rec league. We're not talking about high school or college to a certain degree, because you play different levels in college. But we're talking at the professional level, the NBA. Somebody can beat you in one hand. No, that's not going to happen at the NBA. I doubt that.
Hey, and let me throw this out here, TJ. Since you say the emphasis is on who said it, okay? So you're giving credence to Ron Artest, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you sift through garbage,
no.
Hold on.
No.
If you sift, let me finish.
No.
If you sift through the garbage, what do you mean? Listen, if you sift through the garbage, you'll see. It ain't so much about who, like I said, but if you're putting the emphasis on who, they compensated endorsers. There's a lot of them out there like that. Tell me then what Jordan said about the whole GOAT argument anyway. What did he say? Since it's about who saying it, right? What did he say about the GOAT?
Exactly. He said he's not going to choose between Kobe and LeBron.
No.
He said there's different eras. He talking about
that part. Yeah,
he said about the whole GOAT thing, period. He said, man, don't ask me that. I'm not even about to answer that, because I don't even know where that came from, and I don't know why that's a thing.
So example, LeBron was the GOAT in his era. I don't care what you say.
You cannot be the greatest of all time.
I said he's the GOAT of his time.
Listen.
His time.
Listen.
He was the GOAT.
Listen.
You got to take out the all.
Thank you. You can listen. The greatest of all time. You can't be the greatest of all time and be the greatest of your time at the same time. That's bass Atwood. Come on, you can't be the greatest of all time.
LeBron is the GOAT of this generation right here. This generation right here.
Once again, that's a misappropriation of the term word GOAT. You cannot be the greatest of all time, but in a specific time.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna help you out.
He's the greatest of his era.
No, I ain't gonna put it. He was the greatest of his era.
Okay,
that's not all time. That's his era.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Okay, now
I'm not gonna argue that.
If you, I can argue. Listen, I can argue that Kobe wasn't the greatest of his era.
What?
Okay, listen, hold on.
Oh my God! Come on, bro.
I can argue that.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
No wonder you
Get him out of here. What you drinking, TJ? Get him out of here.
I can argue that all day.
Who else was rivaling Kobe in his era?
Shaq and Tim Duncan. Shaq and Tim Duncan.
Come on, dude.
Okay, what do you say? Shaq and Tim Duncan.
No.
Listen, can I explain my reasoning?
What about Dwayne Wade?
Hold on. Shaq won all them MVPs on that team, didn't he? Did he not?
But listen, let me tell you.
He got two of them. Shaq got two MVPs.
Hold on. You're asking me. Now, let me say why Tim Duncan.
One at a time. You said, no, let's talk about the MVPs right quick. I'm gonna let you finish, but let's go to each one of your points. If you don't think that the MVPs in that era doing when Kobe was doing what he was doing, if you don't think that was politically based, it's no way. And I love Steve
Nash.
Kobe
got robbed by Steve Nash.
Was to win 2 MVPs.
He got robbed by Steve Nash, bro. Kobe averaged better than Steve Nash on almost everything.
Don't move the goalposts. I said
what? You just said the MVPs.
No, them
finals. You the MVP where he got robbed.
Them finals MVPs. He didn't get robbed. Shaq took them. That's what happened.
Bro, Shaq barely averaged more than Kobe. They was like neck and neck, averaging 30 and 32 and 30 and 31 points. Like, come on now.
Listen, man. Kobe committed. May he rest. Kobe committed the ultimate faux pas, if you want to call it that, when he did what he did.
Oh, stop!
That was after then. Don't say that.
But they still counted him out. They said without Shaq, Kobe ain't winning another one. What did he do? He won 2 back-to-back.
Hey.
After he got Pau Gasol, let's not forget that. He needed help.
Okay, but everybody needed help. Jordan needed Rodman and Pippen.
All of them need help.
Remember, they were terrible for a while. Remember what Andrew
All of them need help.
They were, but Andrew Bynum was injury prone. Like, he stayed hurt.
Thank you.
You can't say Andrew Bynum didn't stay hurt. Andrew Bynum stayed hurt.
And skilled
Kwame Brown at one point.
Oh, please. And as skilled as Paul Gasol was.
Smush Parker.
He was peanut butter cookies.
Don't forget about Fish with that left-hand shot. Don't forget about Fish.
Double J, check your text.
Don't forget about Fish. At the
end of the day, Tim Duncan too, as well.
Okay, I give you that, but they weren't better than Kobe. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, we gotta say the goodbye to my man, bro Rich. We got one more topic on here, bro Rich. We appreciate you for being on the show. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, he got
convention weekend. I gotta go take a big call.
Oh yeah,
all right, bro.
Yeah, that's a big smile you got on your face. It's all good. Yeah, we'll catch up with you. All right, and leave.
Go ahead and put your cowboy jerseys on, brother. I'll see you later.
Yeah, now he can really go into his cowboy mode since he about to, he kicking me out.
Yeah, I'm not kicking you out. Yeah. And no more pictures from the Hollywood sign, okay? Nobody wants to see that. All right,
fellas, I'll be good. Peace.
Yep, it's all good. Right. Yep. One love. Yes, sir. All right, fellas, we're gonna get to our last topic. That was some good stuff. I wanted to say some of that, but TJ, I'm gonna put together something so you.
I gave y'all 2 players. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man, you didn't give us nothing. All right. Anyway, our last topic of the day. We appreciate all the folks out there still watching with us. Yeah, y'all see how we do it here. This is the barbershop, man. The shop week that I go to. Hey, it's like street ball, baby. It's hard hitting foul, ready to bring your A game. With us all love, though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's opinions is respected. You know what I mean? No objective and all that other good stuff. But you better know what you're talking about, baby. And this is the last one for the day. What he said, Ray Allen. And I wish I'd have got to this while Brother Rich was still here, but it's all good. A friend of mine sent me, I knew about this, but a friend of mine sent me this thing about Ray Allen. And I said, I'm going to throw this up on the show and see what these guys think about it. Because I don't think that enough professional players do this, and more should. So what he said, Ray Allen. In 1999, Ray Allen signed a $70 million contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Instead of using an agent, he paid Johnny Cochran $500 an hour to review the contract, saving himself millions of dollars in the process.
Yeah.
Ray said, when asked why he went with Cochran instead of an agent, "I don't need somebody skimming off the top." The most recent case I can recall something like this happening is with Jaylen Brown of the Celtics, I believe. My question to you all, Doc, will come to you first. Why don't more players at the professional ranks eliminate the middleman? Why don't more players do this type of thing?
I feel like it's driven into their brain that you can't do anything without an agent. Like, you have to have this agent or this specialized person that's set up to handle all of your business, because that's the expectation. If you're gonna make it in the league, you have to have a Rich Paul or some kind of agent conducting all your business for you. Now, when you get a player like Ray Allen that thinks outside the box, it's like, "Oh no, you crazy, I wouldn't do," but he's actually smart, because why would I pay you to middleman? Because this is what the NBA told me that's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
I'm not following trends. This is what I want to do, and this is what should happen.
I'm
actually players should follow it. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to set my own trend. I feel like more players should follow this trend, so that way we don't have to worry about nobody trimming off the top. I can pay you what I'm going to pay you and save my money and get things done the way they're supposed to be done. I don't have to worry about a middleman and you talking to this team and that team. I don't have to worry about all that.
Yeah.
Because then agents, they have more to worry about than just me. Johnny Cochran only had to worry about Ray Allen.
Yeah, right.
A lot of these agents, I gotta worry about Ray Allen. I gotta worry about you. I gotta worry about him. No, let me get somebody that's gonna focus on me and have my best interest at heart.
At the end of the day, yeah, that's a good. I appreciate you. That's a good point. TJ, Ray said, "I don't need somebody skimming off the top." Paid Johnny Cochran $500 an hour. Didn't take no agent. Didn't get no agent. Didn't need no agent. What say you?
That's a smart move, but I think some of these other young athletes, they probably had promises made to these agents before they even reached the NBA. So
that's a good point too. Yeah. So in other words, it was already set in stone. Hey, you're gonna be the fourth pick. You projected to be the fourth pick. So let's get our hooks into you now. You know what I'm saying? You're 18. You come from probably most likely an impoverished neighborhood.
How much money can I get off
of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a Hummer. I'm gonna buy you a Hummer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
make sure your Hummer bills paid.
Got you.
Sign with me.
But I'm gonna trim all them dollars off the top.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, that's a good point. Double J, lastly, coming to you. Ray said, "I don't need somebody skimming off the top." When asked, of course, why he went with Johnny Cochran instead of an agent.
Well, you can break this down a few different ways, and actually taking not just Ray Allen's stance, but what's going on in the lawsuit between Nerlens Noel and Clutch Sports. So right away, what you have to evaluate is, can a lawyer be an agent? The answer, of course, is yes. But does an agent have to be a lawyer? The answer is no. So the fiduciary kind of responsibilities of
hold that thought. What you said just brought something else to mind. If you were a player, which one would you want? Would you rather have an agent, or would you rather have a lawyer as an agent?
Well, if me personally, so I'll give an example, because this was actually the rule changed. I at one point in time was going to represent my best friend Kevin Jones, but I call him my brother. So
okay, shout out to KJ. Yeah, and play for the Bears and the Lions, I think, right?
That's right. And the Bears deal was due to me. The reason he ended up signing with Drew Rosenhaus was due to me. And so again, it's not like, I wanted to do anything off the top, but because I was the one who went through all the evaluation process with them, with what teams were available, who was the best situation, all those things. For those that don't remember, the Bears just came off the Super Bowl loss. Cedric Benson had just gotten kicked off.
I was going to ask, was that running back?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, the opportunity lined up, and then we could get some payback 2 times a year against the Lions. So it worked out. And so ultimately he made a couple $1 million off of the deal. And all was said and done. The thing was, I couldn't be with him in the room because I wasn't a lawyer. I wasn't certified to actually represent them. Those rules largely by Clutch Sports, because again, who's LeBron's other guy with not just Rich Paul, but the other one that he played.
They try to do Rich Paul like that too, though. They try to tell Rich Paul since you're not
correct, and that's just it. So they, in terms of player advocacy and some of the things that have changed in that respect, that certainly was influenced heavily, just a few years later due to LeBron. So on changing that. And so to
they call it the Rich Paul rule. I didn't mean to cut you off. They call it the Rich Paul rule.
Oh, they got a name for it now.
Yeah, they call it the Rich Paul rule.
But just, for those, they kind of view it like, hey, the team's going to offer me what they're going to offer me anyway. So why not let a friend of mine who I trust, make some, whatever that valuation is off the top. Right. But again, in terms of actual agencies, it's more so the lawyer's going to have you're their client. So they only have your best interest with what's presented in front of them. They're not going to go and advocate for you and find other business ventures and opportunities in the manner that a traditional agency would. So that's what, you have to kind of evaluate, just looking at it from a pure contractual side of things versus the bigger picture and all of the other elements and facets that are involved. That really separates the two.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'd like to see more players be learned enough. You know what I mean? Study the craft that you're about to go into. Or even if you don't do it at the high school or college level, you're about to become a professional. Now, all of these things, before they get to you, not before they get to you per se, but before they start coming at you with all of this, these contracts and that contract, do your homework so you maybe can make a better decision on whether or not. If you
a lot of players won't do it because it's drilled into their brain. Find you an agent and let them take care of it for you. That's the easy route. Well, everybody wants the easy route.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody wants to do their research and go get a lawyer, and they want the easy route. Let me get this agent. He can handle me and whoever else he got on his plate because agents have my best interest at heart. But that's not always
the case. Yeah, gotcha.
No, but you got to think about it. It's some. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, TJ.
Go ahead.
No, there's some smart players out there like Richard Sherman. You got all these players that went to Harvard, all these top schools. They still got agents, so it's a reason they doing it. It's like
it's driven into their mind.
No, it ain't even just that, because I know him, like how he thinks. He probably think like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I don't need you, but he still got an agent, right? So he know like I need somebody who expertise is this right here. I can't just I gotta focus on football. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, that's a good point too.
But I think that's what the expectation is. You're gonna go grab an agent because the agent is already doing this. The lawyer's not necessarily in the sports world.
But here's the why, and here's the why behind what both Doc and TJ are saying. Because again, the fiduciary nature, of the relationship, agents owe principals certain duties, including loyalty, good faith, candor, full disclosure, refraining from self-dealing, acting with strict integrity, and using reasonable care and all proper skills to serve the interests of the principal, that being the player. Agents who breach this duty can be financially liable for the losses. This is what we're going to find out based on the outcome of Nerlens Noel versus Clutch Sports. Did they go against what was his best interest because of their own? At that point, they are liable. And this is why there's a big difference in how that would have been approached based on just a lawyer versus the agency. But this agency is, of course,
because a lawyer would know the laws, the agent law. He could look up the agent's laws, and at being an attorney, he would understand the law to a certain depth that an agent wouldn't, so to speak, or understand the legalities of it.
Correct. He would have seen, hey, look, this is the offer that's in front of you, which was however many, a couple of $80 million or something.
Yeah.
And said, this is a great opportunity. Take it. Clutch Sports, on the other hand, for motivations that are likely to be discovered and disclosed in the courtroom, are going to explain why they felt that it wasn't. And again, it's going to be subject to,
he a bust. That's the subject. He busted.
No, well,
they don't know that at first.
Double J. Listen, they probably told him, "Hey, no, we're gonna get you a better deal. All you gotta do is prove you can do this, do this, do this." He didn't prove it. He sucked. It's his fault.
But that's why he should have taken the deal.
No, no, we know that.
You can't tell him you're going to get him a better deal, but and then you don't.
What? Oh, that
you gotta be a man of your word. If I tell you to get you a better deal, that's the expectation. I expect you to get you a better deal.
Now, but here's the difference. When a player like Schroeder said, "No, I want blank," and I made the choice that I walked away from another deal, and then I got a veteran minimum deal. That was on him.
He walked away.
Yeah,
from
right.
But listen, Double J. No one's on what's his name? Noel?
Noel. Go ahead. Yeah.
You know why it's on him? Because say, all right, he turned down that deal, and then that next season he started averaging 35 points a game. He gets the big bag, right?
No, depending on the length of the terms.
I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if his game improved, of course they're gonna.
But remember, TJ, you're saying hypotheticals. These what ifs. If you become an all-star, if you be average record, break all these records. The offer's in front of him now. The agency should have told him, we're going to give you this to you now. Take the deal now.
But is it the
look
agency's
at Isaiah Thomas?
Hold on. Is it the agency's fault that they had faith that he would improve his game so he can get a bigger deal? That's the only reason they say.
Yeah, but listen. But why would you base? Listen, if you basing like they say,
every time you turn a certain deal down, it's because you feel like what you worth is more than that. So he probably turned like, all right, go ahead, man.
No.
But here's why I'm going against it, because hold on, as an athlete, you're not, and nothing's guaranteed. You don't know if you're going to break your ankle 5 minutes.
Isaiah Thomas was a season away from being $120-something million player. Got hurt, and now look at him. Nobody getting 10-day contracts.
But let me say this to you too. Look, hey, we all play spades here. You ain't got no business counting cut books, man. You can't say you got 7 in a possible, but you know what I mean? But you counting cut books. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
If they
you gotta call what you got.
Thank you. If they said we're gonna get you a better deal right there in the moment,
get me my better deal.
And get me my better deal. It can't be based off of what you think might happen or what could happen.
That's not how it works. It ain't talking about that. That wasn't right there in the moment. Now, come on now. So you said Double J.
That's what it was with Isaiah Thomas. They told Isaiah Thomas, I can get you more money. Then he got hurt and that contract and all that was out the window.
Hold on, Doc. You saying they turned down a deal to negotiate another deal at the same time?
Oh, that's Dennis Schroeder. That was them.
No, I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas. With Noel, he said he alleges that Rich Paul breached his duty in many ways, including telling him to terminate the relationship with his prior agent. And then he did that. He did this by saying that Rich Paul would get him a max deal if he hired Clutch Sports and stopped negotiating with the Mavericks. So they already had this deal in the works with the existing agency. And so there was, I think, $80 million on the table being offered. And then all of a sudden it was like Rich Paul told him, hey, man, if you stop talking to them, if you sign
with us, if you cut them out, you sign with us, we'll get you a better deal.
But that's not illegal because you're not signed to Cut Sports yet.
It's not tampering.
It's not. You're not signed with me yet, so I did nothing. What's that word? That phrase you use?
Tampering. It's called tampering. I'm not tampering.
Not tampering, but not in his best interest. So he wasn't signed with them yet, so they did that wrong. So he wasted money right now. That's
so what he did, so to continue with that,
I can say what I want to get you to sign with me. That's how I'm trying to get you.
That's my negotiation. Bad business practice.
But that's my negotiation with you.
It ain't about what you know; it's about who you know.
So again, Nerlens Noel did exactly that. He stopped talking to Mavericks. He signed with Clutch Sports, and he said they later made misrepresentations concerning alleged offers from other teams to prevent him from terminating their relationship. So he said, we have X, Y, and Z offers on the table that simply didn't exist. He also said they failed to do any kind of work on his behalf to try to get him actual deals. And so basically they got him to sign, and then he lost out on a bunch of money because there were no deals that were offered.
Okay, so at the end of the day, At the end of the day, you're right, TJ. What they did, technically, it ain't wrong. But this base, we were talking about principle. That's underhanded. Don't sell that man.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care. What you mean? This is the game. I don't care. I'm trying to get you to sign with me so I can make money off your butt. They do that with rappers, singers, R&B artists, rock.
But I ain't gonna lie to you and promise you we can get this, and we can't get it.
I was going there next.
Hey, why? I ain't gonna do that.
Listen,
that's wasting both our time. I got to deal with a lawsuit because I lost you out on money.
I'm gonna be honest. Y'all wouldn't be good agents. Because y'all think they telling the truth about everything. They lied.
No. I know that.
No, we're not saying that, but I'm not gonna promise you more money if we ain't got no deals on the table. If I ain't been in somebody's ear, like, hey, you want to come check him out? Yeah, I wouldn't promise you that we could potentially get you more if I ain't even talked to nobody yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, hey, Arnold Rothstein lied. They all lied. It's lied.
Hey, listen, he got Tristan Thompson. He got Tristan Thompson. What, 90 million?
But he was already talking to people about Tristan Thompson, though.
He already had it lined up. I don't know.
Like, if I don't have it lined up, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I got it lined up so I can still take your money, because that's gonna result in court cases and all. I don't have time for that.
I'm pretty sure at that time he was trying to
lying to you is gonna result in me losing more money. So when you say they lie, say they partially lie.
Okay, but let me say this.
Any part of that makes them at fault and guilty, and actually should at that point be liable for some, if not all, of the funds that
were lost.
Hey, listen. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, TJ. If what they did was not, if what they did, hey, it's all fair in love and war, whatever, however you want to say that. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? If whatever they did, if it was nothing to it, and that's just how the game go. So
it is. Y'all know it.
Why they in court? Why they in court?
Because you can sue somebody for being black if you want to, bruh. You can sue somebody for anything.
Okay.
Come on, man.
All right. So let me ask you this question.
I don't know about for being black, but you know.
Yeah, man, right. But
you know what I mean. You can sue for anything,
I got what
he
said. So let me give you a what if, because I know we like to throw a lot of what if scenarios around here. Certain folks on this program. What if Nerlens Noel? What if the Clutch is found to have done some underhanded, shady stuff, whatever? Noel's won. Then what? He wins the case. Then what?
A lot of things change potentially.
Because if he wins the case, then that means there was something more to it or something there that ain't being said that's going to come out during a court proceeding.
Yeah, but based off what he's saying right now, this is all before he signed with Clutch Sports. That's what he's saying.
But that's what I'm asking you about. What if?
Now, the what if is if after they sign and they still say, "Oh yeah, we got deals," and they never had those deals. Well, of course they should be found guilty.
Well, that's what he just said. That's what he just read right there. They would
Additionally, let's think. So right away, that tactic that TJ is talking about technically is not illegal.
Thank you.
So to his point, that can change right away. That would be one of the first. Additionally, the NBA PA specifically, so the Players Association can say you can't do that anymore. Additionally, saving 1%. So this happens anyway. When the player, if they were to switch from Clutch Sports to, or just as
from
he
wherever
did,
he was at before, up to
that next contract, 1% of that goes to the previous agent anyway, as it stands right now.
Yeah,
probably largely because, and that saves agency on agency, courtroom time. Because
so is that smart on Clutch's part to do that?
It's a bad business.
Showing one hand, we got one hand behind.
Smoke and mirrors, dog. Smoke and mirrors.
If we wasting time right now, because if y'all think Drew Rosenhaus, the great Drew Rosenhaus, doesn't do this on a daily basis, telling players, "Oh, I can get you this and this and this," and don't got nothing. He ain't talked to nobody about them yet. Come on, bro.
But let me ask you this.
I don't know if he talks to nobody.
Hold on, Double J. Hold on.
Maybe on the show.
Has Drew Rosenhaus gotten whatever he had for his clients? Has he gotten his clients what he said he was going to get his clients?
That deal that Kevin signed for $2 million.
Thank you.
Deal was
everything. The reason nobody's saying Drew Rosenhaus is a quiet boy.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying if you think it's other deals that he hasn't came through on, and he made promises on before he had those players or whatever as an agent, you got to think about that. Like that's part of the game.
That's fair.
This is me. I'm selling you my brand, so I gotta exaggerate. If I feel like it ain't going my way, I gotta. All right, you know what? I got this going. I got this going for you. Ooh.
Yeah, but at some point you're gonna have to. At some point you're gonna have to have something to back that exaggeration up. Ain't nobody saying embellishment is bad, but you can't say you got something and then I find out you ain't got nothing and then expect me not to do something. You can't do that.
I need them lost wages made up. I need.
Listen, they had something because he got signed after that. It just wasn't a max contract. It wasn't $80 million either. So
what I'm saying is, don't promise me this if you can't come through with it.
Man, y'all sound terrible like Girl Scout cookies right now, bro. Y'all.
But I'm saying, don't promise me something if you can't come through with it. Like, that's like me promising to buy you some new J's and I buy you some Skechers instead. At least you got some shoes, right?
Heck no! You don't tell me.
I promised them some shoes, right?
Man, if you told me a Benz and you came back with a Kia, we're throwing hands.
Exactly my point. If you promise me $100 million and you only get me 60,
barbershop. How many times?
Don't promise me something you can't come through with.
Your parents said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you something," and you got something, and what you got wasn't what you wanted.
No.
No, it's not what you told me you were gonna get me.
How many times? Come on now.
No. Listen. If my parents said, "I'm gonna get you a pair of Chuck Taylors." See, it's a difference between telling me I'm gonna get you a pair of Chuck Taylors, being specific, versus telling me I'm gonna get you a pair of shoes. See what I'm saying? Because if you give me a pair, hold on, Double J. See, if you tell me I'm gonna get you a pair of shoes, in my mind, I'm assuming that they're gonna be Chuck Taylors because back then that's what the happening was. And if you don't get them, I'm gonna be mad. But when I stop and think about it, I can't be mad at nobody but myself. I get that. But if you tell me, that's why I want to know the verbiage. If you tell me, hey, I'm gonna get you a pair of Chuck Taylors, and you don't give me a pair of Chuck Taylors, guess what? I'm breaking every dish in the house, and I'll run away if I have to.
I knock all this stuff over.
You're still looking at it wrong. Under these circumstances, he was promised that already on the table was known. Hey, you're gonna get these Adidas superstars, but now if you come with me, I'm gonna get you some Jordans. Oh, cool. No problem.
See, that's what I'm saying. If the verbiage was specific, hey man, if you leave them out, man, we're gonna get you signed to maybe the Lakers, the Jazz, or whatever. And I don't know. Right. I'm saying if that language was specific, you understand what I'm saying? And then I go ahead because I'm not. Listen, most times a guy don't leave something else unless he got something from the other person that has something maybe concrete to make you know what I'm saying? You don't just, and I'm just hypothetically, I don't know all the parameters, but I'm just throwing this out here. If Nerlens Noel had something lined up previous and the monies that go along with it, he already had something in the works. Basically, all he had to do was sign, and it was $80 million. Who turns down a potential $80 million? All I got to do is put a signature and go with somebody else.
Him and Dennis Schroeder.
Based on the Dennis Schroeder situation is different.
Right.
It's different.
Dennis Schroeder refused to sign a contract for less than what he said he wanted.
Thank you. That's entirely different. What I'm
saying
on
him. He's dumb. He didn't take the money that was offered. Now look,
that was on him.
Hey,
exactly.
That's on him too. What are y'all talking about? He had an agent already, but you talking you going
but
behind
the agent didn't promise him that. Dennis Schroeder's on record saying I'm not signing for nothing less than this.
Listen. He went behind his agent's back and talked to Clutch. That's what he get.
Okay, so you're just saying that's on him. That's on Dennis Schroeder.
No. I'm talking about.
He's talking about Nerlens Noel.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. He signed to Doc, but he go behind your back and go talk to Double J or whatever. That's on him.
So hold on. Okay, let me say. Let's say I'm
talking to another agency.
Hold on. Let me say this.
I'm sure they probably asked that same question.
Listen, if I'm Nerlens,
right.
if I'm did all that hard work and he got duped, that's what he get. I don't care what y'all say.
If I'm Nerlens Noel,
he trash.
Okay, so yeah, but did Nerlens Noel go holler at Clutch, or did Clutch come start spitting in his ear?
Correct.
See, that's what I want to know. If I'm Nerlens Noel and I already got a deal on the table, but I'm going to holler at somebody else, that's because that somebody else was getting at me. And somebody else that got at me had something specific to say.
All right, so look, check this out, right? Nerlens Noel, right? He was a free agent at the time, Double J?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Now, you would think for a second that teams will be calling him, asking him calling for his services, giving him offers.
Well, no, wait.
No, for a Clutch to say, I got deals in hand, I'm pretty sure a team would have called his other agent already. Come on, man. Y'all got to think about that, bro.
Well, it was an expiring deal with the Mavericks, so naturally, the team you're with has could pay you a little bit more than everybody else. So,
right.
We've seen. So from there, it was Clutch saying stop talking to him. It was two things: fire the agent and stop negotiating with them, with the team.
And listen, okay, so and on those two things, somewhere either before, in the middle, or after those two things were said, it had to be some sort of specificity for him to actually go through with canceling one and going with the other. Who in their right mind say, stop talking to that guy and leave that guy alone? For what?
Somebody who ain't got no people on their roster trying to build a resume up. That's who?
I'm talking about the play.
I'm talking about the agent.
But that was Rich Paul.
That's what I'm saying. But back then, Rich Paul, who he had on his roster back then?
Oh, that wasn't that long ago. That was just a couple years ago.
I'm about to
LeBron.
Man, I'm about to say it wasn't. Yeah. You make it seem like it was 8, 9, 10 years ago.
I'm thinking it was like 7 or 8 years ago. I ain't know.
No, that was only like 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that long. It wasn't. Yeah,
it was like 3-4 years ago.
No,
well, it don't matter. I feel like no one else should know who he is as a player. Like, dude, you suck anyway.
Hey, listen,
I don't care what you say. I know. Hey, listen, if you say TJ shoot, I'll get you $100,000 deal right now to play in the NBA. I'm gonna take it. You know why? Because I'm trash. He should know he trash, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
$80 million, that's a lot of money, bro.
The agent ain't looking at that. The agent is looking at how much money can I get off you in this contract.
Thank you. Whether he trash or not does not bear any weight to whether somebody specifically said, if you cut them off, listen, don't nobody cut off a potential however many $1 million deal for somebody just throwing out generalities.
All right, hey, Barbershop, you know his old agency was told him like, hey man, you ain't getting that. They're not about to give you a max contract. We already know what you deserve.
Well, I don't know that. See, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know all of the details of it. I'm just going off of what information we have right here. But guess what though? Then why would he? That don't make sense to me. They find out about the deal, a potential deal after the fact, and then tell them they ain't gonna get that. So then that could be the previous people just hating.
True. It very well could have been. It could have been the Mavericks. Mark Cuban saying, you know what? I see what they did. I don't like it. We're not even interested anymore.
Yep, that's what could have happened.
You see what I'm saying?
You can rub people the wrong way.
They did.
Yeah.
No, that's
why probably what happened. He rubbed them the wrong way. So he said, look, you're going to do that, then I'm done with you. Go figure it out from here.
No, Mark Cuban probably told other people not to do a deal with Clutch Sports anyway for that happening. For real.
Let's see, now that's a bigger deal. Now
that's another story for another day. But yeah,
gigantic lawsuit.
that kind of stuff does go on. I get it. That's a great point.
Look at Kaepernick, right?
Right. That's right. But I'm staying specifically to 1, 2, 3, and 4. At the end of the day,
and my man's from back in the day, the basketball player, the original Kaepernick, Muhammad. Yep, that's him. He had that cooker back in the day. Yep, they did him the same exact way.
Yeah. I just something is missing in this whole formula or this equation. For me to if I all of a sudden listen, I probably shouldn't use this, but I'm getting ready to. No, never mind. I'm not gonna.
No, go ahead.
Come on with it, Bob. Come on with it, Bob.
I'm gonna try to keep it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G as I can.
PG.
If I'm with a girl and we at dinner or something, okay, and I already know, we might be lined up or whatever it is, and the other one, the next one come and say, hey, I got something better for you. And she might be not having a few less clothing items or what the case may be. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Of course I'm gonna turn down.
Whoa, no.
Of course I'm gonna turn down. Hey, I'm going over here with her. You know what I'm trying to say?
No. She may. I would say a more appropriate one she would still be clothing, but just figuratively, it looks more shapely,
more appealing. More appealing.
No, okay, and that's why I shouldn't even did it.
So that's why.
Toss
but
that
it wasn't
guaranteed.
Then you found out it was one of them legging things that you know, that
that's the same thing. I can get you this much money on a contract. Hearing you say I can get you 100 million sounds more appealing than, oh, I'm gonna get you this 40 million guaranteed. I'm finna roll on over here with this 100 million because you was talking about something I could probably get you that.
Yeah, there had to be something.
That's the more appealing deal.
Like
there had to be something more to it to make him actually go through it and not cut them other people off. You can't just come to me with a promise. I should have said it that way. You can't just say,
well,
hey, man,
look at the and I'm sure they probably pitched it that way. Historical context. Here's what we did with AD.
Tristan Thompson. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay, and that's fine. But guess what, though?
Scottie Pippen and the Bulls.
What you gonna do for me? That's fine. I see. I like that you deal with that with them guys. But show me what you gonna do for me.
But hey, it's this is why I say it's his fault, bro. They can't really guarantee you nothing. They ain't say, "Oh, look, I got a promise. Look at these messages." They ain't say nothing. They ain't. But if I'm him, I need proof. Like, let me see some proof, man. You got text messages or something?
That's what I'm trying to say.
No,
that's what I'm trying to say.
He's gonna do that. Drew Rosenhaus ain't doing that. Scott Boras ain't doing that. They're saying, look at our history, look at our track record of proven success. We know. Stop dealing with them right now. We'll get you a better deal.
That's what they said.
That's exactly what they did.
But that's what they said.
They followed. They could not follow through with that. So they
okay. So
do they owe the guy money? Yes or no? Because they said we would get you a better deal, and we didn't.
Okay, so
yes, they owe money.
That's a part of the game, bro.
Yeah, okay, right. And I'm with you, TJ. That is part of the game. But once again, the game has changed if you were specific in whatever you said to him. That's what I want to know. That's why I'm going to follow the corporate. Because if you specifically said, hey, man, we can get you a $30 million deal with whatever team, the Giants, whatever it is. In other words, if they said, because that's ambiguous in general, if you say, hey, man, look at our track record. We made this forever. Okay, yeah, but see, you ain't being specific. That's kind of cloudy. You feel what I mean? And I'm with you, TJ.
I don't feel bad, bro.
Hey, listen, if Nerlens Noel went over there based off of somebody else's history of what they had done for them, you're right, that's on him. But I'm hard pressed to think or believe that he actually went with Clutch without something specific being said to him about what they could do.
They made that deal sound appealing for him to do that.
Listen, it's not illegal to lie, bro.
I didn't say that it was illegal.
But especially if I don't have you under contract. Now, if you was under contract with me and I lied, of course I owe you money. I lied, and you my client. I gotta pay you.
I'm not arguing that. You're right. But if you
don't feel bad for him, admit it.
Nah, it ain't. Listen, I don't feel bad for nobody that don't do their homework on whoever they gonna sign with.
If they could really get you that contract and you didn't get it, that's on you, Playboy.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you in that regard, but I am saying if
he's so crazy because he's looking around at other contracts, bro. Get your $80 million. That's $80 million.
Hey, man.
And and he was only averaging like 11 points or something, bro.
Listen, I done seen guys who average, yeah, right, yeah, and get big contracts. I don't
look at Draymond Green.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, what you average and all of that. Yeah. I'm talking about whether or not if you got duped and whether something was said specifically in order for you to be in court right now.
Draymond Green paid and he averaged like 8 points a game.
Yeah,
10 rebounds though. But listen, he got paid off his championship run, as did Tristan Thompson. Y'all, that's what this man don't have in his backpack. Them two did.
That's why I'm trying again. So listen,
okay,
Nerlens, you cannot tell me that Nerlens, especially coming from John Calipari, you cannot tell me that Nerlens Noel went with Clutch, knowing that he ain't got no championship pedigree, and still went with them and turned down possibly $80 million. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what we tell.
Hang on a second. Do we really feel that was the case though? Are we going to sell him short? That he coming, like you said, 5-star prospect, did the things that he did.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm giving him credit for having some type of wherewithal.
It didn't work out in Philly, but he was having kind of a resurgence there in Dallas, getting it, fresh start, was productive.
Right.
He was. And that probably what threw him off.
I just don't think a guy who knows he does not have a championship pedigree could be sold on what them guys did for those guys who do got championship pedigree.
Don't be so naive as to think that you can get the contract that these guys are getting when you ain't produce what they're producing.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to take what you can get. If all you can get is that 80 million, you take that.
You got to realize.
Let me tell you something right now. Hold on, TJ. Let me tell you something.
That particular agent might have a relationship with the Mavericks.
Get that. Let me tell you something. If I'm not producing championship quality ball, I'm not finna pass up on this 80 million potentially for somebody to think. You got potential to get us all the way there. So let's sign him to this 100-some million. I ain't never proved that to nobody.
That's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, man, we'll see. I want to see how the court proceedings or whatever the court case pans out. We got to get out of here, man. We've been in it.
That's why that bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, ladies.
Yeah, one bird in the hand worth two in the bush.
I'm trying to tell you. And on that note, excuse me, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here on the StreamYard Sundays at 8 on the PM side, or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Golden Grams, Ice Cream. You scream, we all scream for ice cream. And wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, as well as the shop's Facebook fan page. And if you would be so kind to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my man's Be Rich, Double J, TJ, DOC, Doc, and all those who follow and support us, especially them folks out there that stayed with us for 2 hours and 49 minutes. Shout out to them folks out there, baby. And all the folks that left
Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, thank you for sticking around. Yeah. We might have to do some limitations on that. You know what I mean? That is a hefty.
They were with us.
Duration.
Right. Well, we had fun.
It's all good. Well,
you can't judge fun, baby. Can't judge fun.
Well, I mean, again, that's how we do it at the shop, baby. It's all to the good. And all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time you want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!